Alright.
Controlling it.
That's what you
Congrats on control.
Let's manually fade out the sound.
Oh.
That was good. Alright, we're going to go live.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. Thank you
Hello.
for patiently waiting. We've actually been ready for like 10 minutes, but
No,
we got to stick to our schedules. And I think that's pretty important. Welcome
It's
to
all
the
about the
first...
timing.
Yeah, welcome to the first episode of Speedrunning Anonymous. I'm St. Million, and I'm joined by these nerds. Chops in the top left, and the Psycho Ripper in the bottom left, and all you nerds in the bottom right.
Yeah. So.
We have a schedule, but I don't know where to start. So, Chops.
Hello.
Chops, what are you doing?
I'm doing this speedrun podcast. Oh wait, you meant in general?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh wait, this is a podcast. I thought we were about to play Quiplash.
Why are you surprised about me drinking? I drink all the time.
Oh yeah, what are you drinking? How about that?
Yeah.
All right, so I got out a few cool new beers. This is a Church Key Holy Smoke Scotch Ale.
Holy.
Very nice.
Holy smoke!
Holy moly!
It's pretty decent.
Hold on, let me give that an emoji.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
that's nice. Well, that's nice.
It's pretty
You all
nice.
can have fun with the emoji shit. I ain't joining in on this.
Oh, I will. What about you?
It is mandatory.
What about you, Psycho? What you up to?
Oh, I'm drinking this beer right here. Looks pretty nice. It's a Tank 7 Farmhouse Ale by Boulevard Brewery. Very good stuff if you're into saisons or farmhouse ales.
Yeah, no one knows what that means.
You're right. Nobody does, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So for that, like one person who knows what I'm talking about.
Chops. You're talking to Chops. Listen, all beer snobs go to hell. All right, and I'm drinking a delicious PBR
in a glass, poured out very nicely. Yeah. I like that. I like the body. It's the transparency.
Why are we doing this on your channel again? Clearly the least qualified here.
Because
dude, he's just utilizing us so he can get the views.
Who's drinking shed? We're gonna drink shed at AGDQ Scoot.
But anyways,
it's apparently the worst. But yeah, this is a speedrunning podcast.
Since this is the first episode, I guess the best thing to do is introduce ourselves and like what we do, other than what we're drinking. That's a giveaway of a special type of character, but
yeah,
speedrunning related stuff. Why don't you start out?
Oh, me?
Yes, you. I just told you. You're gonna do it.
Well, I'm a speedrunner. You can tell by my shirt. These were printed and given away with names on the back at AGDQ 2014. But
wow,
yeah, pretty famous. Been speedrunning since like late 2013 or no, early 2013. Yeah, and just been dicking around. Speedrunning's great, also terrible, and it's my favorite hobby, other than occasionally playing Smash.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have a good knowledge of speedrunning, so we're just gonna have a good time talking about speedruns with the chat and you guys. Speedrunning since birth, exactly.
Dude.
Speedrunning everything I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mainly speedrun. I don't mainly speedrun anything. I've ran Max Payne 2. It's the only game I'm really good at. And Hitman Blood Money, Jet Set Radio, Demon Souls, and that's pretty much it.
I mean, you have world record in blood money, according to speedrun.com.
It's on the leaderboards, so I'm obviously the best.
Must be.
Even though that run had like 3 resets in it, or 3 reset levels. But yeah, that's what's up. What about you, Chops? Who are you?
Who am I? I am Dr. T the Chops. I've been like watching speedruns for a long time, on and off. And then in like, I think it was mid 2014, I decided to start doing some speedruns.
What inspired you to do that?
I don't know, just shit looked fun.
Was there a certain game you were watching or something?
Not really, because like I'd wanted to do it for a while, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to play. And then eventually I just Well, I just kind of like did Fallout 1 like once because it was literally just the simplest possible speedrun ever. You just watch it once and then you just kind of do what they do and
Mhm.
you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I started seriously running Skyrim and it was kind of all right. And then I learned a bunch of other games and I now have a pretty large roster of games that I've done or I'm pretty familiar with.
You're
Got a
kind of
pretty
just
stacked resume.
yeah. You're kind of all over the place.
Well, I mean, they're all
You
PC
have a
games.
problem,
'Cause
is what I'm trying to say.
look,
This
man.
is an intervention. I've been telling you this is a podcast, but you know, it's actually new. But
I
that's good.
mean, it's speedrunning's just a neat hobby, and then
It's all right.
Yes.
it's just some stuff to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Heck yeah. I'm pouring my actual beer now.
Oh, good.
it's hold on. I already forgot what it's called. Monday Night Bourbon Barrel Drafty Kilt. Comes in this giant fucking can. That I got from a growler place. Psycho Ripper. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I kind of like got into watching speedrunning and stuff about 2012, and then around 2013 I started it. Then kind of went on and off for a little bit and kind of stuck with it around like late 2014 and early 2015. And I've run a number of games. I don't really have like one specific type that I do. Some people might know me for doing Dark Forces at SGDQ, but I also run Resident Evil 2. I used to run Resident Evil 4, and I've also dabbled with other games like Unreal and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. A
Yeah.
couple other little things, little side projects along the way.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement in Smash the Record?
Well, I was one of the core planners for the event and one of the event directors for the speedrunning portion of it. I did not get a lot of sleep that weekend.
I can imagine.
And yeah, it's so basically I helped with planning the event, making sure everything went well when it was actually happening, as well as contacting people for things.
Mm.
Which I needed to do a lot of in the middle of Smash the Record, but that's something I'll talk about when we get onto that topic.
Yeah, that's definitely on the schedule. We have a few different things to go over.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of stuff happening in the last like few weeks in terms of speedrunning.
November's been like a crazy month for speedrunning.
It's like marathon month.
Yeah,
like
everyone was doing
pre-GDQ.
something every weekend.
It's always like 3 months before a GDQ. There's just like everything all at once.
Everyone seems to like get into speedrunning again when they hear about GDQ games lists and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, everyone puts these marathons together, such as Shots Fired.
Oh man,
which
I love Shots Fired.
We'll get to that because that
Maybe.
marathon was holy shit. It was so good.
That was definitely a great marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a great marathon every time, but this time in particular was something else.
It was pretty fantastic. Oh my god, this is really good.
That moment when you
Going
realize
from
something that's not PBR. Is
going from PPR to this was pretty fantastic. I have to say.
Holy shit! This is incredible.
There's taste in this. So first on the schedule is what you've been playing, because I'm really good at writing schedules. Chops, are there any games in particular that came out recently or that you've been playing recently?
Any games that came out recently that I've been playing? Let me think.
I bet there's one
probably
really enjoy right now. A really good, really solid and well-made PC game.
Oh, Battlefield 1. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was Titanfall 2.
Oh, yeah. Shoutouts to Blood.
So yeah, Dishonored 2 came out last week, and there was a lot of us that were really excited and everything about it. And then it kind of is a steaming pile of shit on PC.
Whoa, yeah, it is.
But hey, it's still all right, fun to route.
Mm-hmm.
Not that much to run, but yeah, it's something to fool around with.
Well, who knows? Maybe eventually it'll get good.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Maybe in 6 months it'll be playable.
When they actually make it not a shitty port.
Yeah.
Shitty PC port.
And then there was Shots Fired this weekend, which kept me really busy. And then I don't even know what else I've been playing recently.
So, what is it about Dishonored 2 that makes it like a bad run?
Oh well, first of all, it runs like shit. So
Yeah, that's
trying
pretty
trying to
bad.
play a game with low FPS that's based on mouse movement is horrible.
Yeah.
Like absolutely horrible.
When I was just playing the game casually, I couldn't, like, every once in a while the mouse would just move like a million miles a second. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
so
that totally screwed up what I was doing, and I
It
have to
sucks
reload
because I
now.
was excited for the game too because I love the original, but it's just like once I start hearing about it, I was like, maybe I'll just wait a little bit.
that's
Yeah.
like one thing that they fixed so far is the mouse no longer is based on frame rate, so it'll no longer just randomly go a million miles per hour. So that's a little bit nicer. But
Hmm.
there's just like a lot of mechanics that they changed that made it shittier than the first game. Like now, whenever you jump and you blink, you have like a really long cooldown before you can
Hmm.
blink again. And there's no reason for
Really
it. Like
weird.
it wouldn't affect you in any way casually.
And
So
that
I don't
didn't
know why they
happen
did that.
in Dishonored 1.
No.
Yeah.
In Dishonored 1, there was always the same cooldown and it was really short.
So somebody in that developer room was like, what will make this game slow? What will make
Yeah,
this
they're
game
just like,
less fun?
how can we infuriate speedrunners that will in no way impact the casual players?
Well,
Because
let's see. They're jumping a lot. They're in the air a lot. Let's just make it so being in the air sucks. You
yeah,
know,
they have this really
they'll
cool
show
looking
'em.
thing where they jump and they blink twice and land somewhere. Let's just fuck that up so they can't do it.
Pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, I was playing it casually. It was pretty fun casually, but like,
Yeah,
God,
I
it's
enjoyed it.
such a bad port. God, my Titan X can't handle it. And I
Wow.
was like, this is ridiculous.
Suboptimal.
My
Yeah,
1080 like
just
just
need to.
barely gets over 60 FPS and
I'm,
it'll go under when I'm streaming.
I'm gonna throw out my Titan X just out the window because it's useless.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Gotta get 3 Sly 1080s now. And then as soon as the 1080 Ti comes out, gotta throw those out and get 3 more.
Of course.
Also, apparently dropping frames.
Looks like dropping frames.
Wow. Not even
My internet stinks.
optimal.
Here, let me change the buffer or something. Or not buffer, the bitrate.
It'll be
Dude, I want out of this
fine.
garbage ass podcast right now. If you're gonna drop things like
Okay.
that.
Those on
This is
YouTube,
unacceptable.
people watching on YouTube are gonna be fine. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. As long as they can hear. They don't need to actually see us. It's not like we're making any funny faces or anything like that.
Lol. Wait,
Oh,
you have the webcam. That's amazing.
Yeah, but it's the webcam software is fucking flaming garbage and takes like 10 minutes before I can turn any of those on.
God damn it.
Cool. Like
Yeah,
Ripper.
that's it.
Like Ripper, what's your speed projects recently?
Well, considering I had to run a game for Smash the Record and I had 4 games to do for Shots Fired, I was kind of packed with practicing, and I didn't get to practice everything as much as I wanted to because of running Smash the Record and because of school. So I've had my hands tied up with that for a bit. So once everything's done, Thanksgiving's over, I'm probably gonna continue trying to get a better time in Resident Evil 2. That's my main goal right now.
What
Because
category?
of the PB I can get at the moment.
What category?
Leone. I want to improve Clara as well, but Leone is more fun. Clara is just kind of boring. But it's like, it could be better. God damn it, Chops.
What?
Just leave it. Just leave it like that. It's
Other than that, I haven't had any time to casually do any gaming. No.
Hey guys, I'm Chaps.
Hey, guy.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right, moving right along.
Well, this is normal.
Just look both ways.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
All right, Smash the Record.
Smash the Record.
What a event that
Hold
was.
on 1 second. Yeah, man. I'm
Two-
getting a little hot in this jacket of mine.
Whoa! Look at that.
Oh, man, this is so much better.
We esports now, even though there was another esport there.
We'll talk about that later.
not speed. All right, yeah. That's a different
Stop
subject
segueing.
entirely. Yeah, that's a bad segue. So Smash a Record, Mr. Psycho Ripper, you were in charge of the speedrunning events.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a Super Smash Brothers event.
Yeah, that's
to
what it
raise money.
started out as.
Yeah, raise money for
I
charity
guess I should
for
give some
St. Jude.
context on that part of it.
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, Smash the Record was originally called Smash the Record because the goal for the event originally back in 2014 was to break the Guinness World Record for longest amount of time playing a fighting game, which was at the time 48 hours. And the guy behind it, Raging Cherry, wanted to turn it into a charity event, and so we did that with Smash originally. And the guy who we had playing the game was Gatsu, great player. He did technically beat the record, but not by Guinness World Record standards because one of our video cameras out of the 5 that we were using went out, so it no longer qualified. So played Melee for 72 hours straight, which is a great story because at the end of that, he didn't understand the concept of gum.
Of gum?
Somebody offered him a piece of gum, and he was like, "What is this?" He's like, "It's gum."
That's what too much
Do you wanna
Melee
eat
does
it?
to you.
Never Melee, kids.
Don't play
It's
Melee.
dangerous.
But
It's
yeah,
awful.
later on, what was it? Then the year after when we were planning to do it again, Cherry came to me and was like, I kind of want to do speedrunning, and we kind of tacked it on as a gimmick, like a thing to throw in there just for fun. So
It's
it was
a
a little
joke.
bit messy last year. And so we saw that a lot of people were interested in it, so we decided to take it a little more seriously this year and make like a full-blown marathon for it for the entire weekend. And so through months of planning and contacting people, we managed to do that, and the end result I think came out pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually awesome.
There were a couple of technical issues at first, which were not, for the most part, our fault. I will say that.
That tends to happen. There's
But
always
one
going
of
to be
them was
tech
Bright
issues.
House's fault for not giving us a static IP on our server, but that blows over. But anyways, yeah, I think the end result was pretty good. There were a lot of fun runs, and everyone there was really chill, which was really nice.
Yeah, the few times I tuned in, it was really, really entertaining, and there was actually a really good lineups too.
Thanks.
And a couple no-shows, I heard,
Oh yeah,
or at least
a
one.
couple of no shows. So first things first that happened
At least
was
one notable one.
was it 4 days before the event, Game J06, also known as Big John, decided that he couldn't come because he was tied up with too many other things, and he also had like surgery or something, I think. And so we had to find a filler for that. And shout outs to Mr. Shasta, who was already there because he volunteered to do a Kirby run in place of it.
My boy Shasta.
Shasta's a good
What a
guy.
great guy.
He's
Seriously,
awesome.
yeah, real talk.
He's
Shasta's
super awesome. He's
Go
a
follow
really good
Mr.
speedrunner.
Shasta. Don't watch us. Go hit the follow button on his channel instead. But anyways,
Sure.
The other bigger one that was kind of a topic of discussion and controversy was Trihex not showing up for his run. And allow me to explain what happened with that, because not everyone really knew what happened. So he was originally scheduled to do it in the afternoon. I think it was like 2 o'clock or something. I can't remember time exactly. I was a little sleep deprived when it happened. And he wasn't showing up. So we were waiting a long time for this, and somebody else was actually there who ran Yoshi's Island. Any percent was like, "Hey, do you want to let me do this? To fill time while we're waiting?" We're like, "There's no harm in it. Go ahead." Which ended up being a great decision because the guy was really entertaining and brought in a lot of donations. So we're waiting while he's doing this run. We're just filling the stream overlay with memes. It's great, but we get to a point and we can't even get in touch with Trihex, and we finally get a hold of him. He's like, "Oh man, I thought my run was at a different time because for whatever reason Hararo was telling him it was at like 6 or something," which one, I don't understand because Hararo automatically updates with your time zone, and if he was looking at it on a phone, I don't understand why it didn't automatically update time zone correctly. And on top of that, the schedule was out for over a month, so how this managed to be something that was missed was beyond me, and especially when Trihex, I think, lives on the West Coast, which should have been behind instead of forward.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like,
So
he does
there was
not live East
misunderstanding and
Coast.
bad circumstances. So unfortunately, we had to make executive decision to cut his run and find something to fill up. And so we just let the guy do Super MC Gamer was his name. We let him do the rest of the Yoshi's Island run, which again, like I said, was great because it brought in donations and was very entertaining for people.
Yeah.
And after that, we needed a little more time filled before the next run. So luckily, there was another runner there named Flash Uniqua who runs Jet Set Radio.
My boy
And I was
Flashy.
like, this is a pretty comfy run. I like it. I'm going to go try and find him.
Yeah.
Shout outs to him because he willingly, with like only about 30 minutes of preparation, was like, yeah, I'll do this. So we managed to get that in, and then we just had Chrism do it 1-star run for Mario 64 because it was short, and it was just enough time to fill in.
Did Flashy have like a USB and everything? Like he had all his stuff?
No, we just downloaded it and we let him borrow a controller that my
okay.
friend had. So we basically came in.
That's actually
Our boy Flashy.
Yeah, that's
Our
actually
boy
super
Flashy.
convenient. Yeah, I know Flashy because I used to, or I'm in a Discord server with him, but I also run.
Let me tell you that kind of sucked because I felt bad for like cutting somebody, but the way I see it is this, if it had been anyone else, we would have done the same thing.
Yeah, there's no.
And there's a sense of responsibility to it. Obviously, there were circumstances attached to it, but as professionals, we needed to do something.
Yeah, there's a certain like time frame where it's like, okay, you're a little late. That's okay. We'll put in this guy. But then like, if you're still not there and we can't get a hold of you, that's fine.
So I gotta give big thanks to the people who came in for that because that made a bad situation a lot better.
Heck yeah.
It sucks because we were originally gonna if we could have put it in as a bonus donation incentive to let him do his run at the end of the event, but it's the way it worked out, schedule was getting pushed behind for tech reasons, and we just realistically couldn't let it happen because we would have ran into time confliction with Melee and Smash 4 Top 8, which is where the marathon needed to end because that's the big focus afterwards is Smash Finals.
How much money was raised in total for St. Jude?
A little over 51,000.
Heck yeah.
Which, it's good. It's better than last year. I think we could have done better, but there were some obvious oversights on our part, some overestimations, but we're going to take those into account to, hopefully make next year better and raise more money.
Mm-hmm. And what was the final goal met to have Smash the record in Los Angeles?
Yeah, we did. So, the goal was just to beat last year's total, so
I thought that was
going to be a SoCal Smash the Record event.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting because if there is another speedrunning event, that means that there's a relatively big West Coast speedrunning event that could happen, which is usually what a lot of speedrunners are upset about with the GDQs. Like it's either.
Well, that's another thing that's nice about where it was this year for Smash the Record's regular event is it's in Florida, and a lot of runners in the South, traveling that far north is really out of their way.
Mm.
So it's it's kind of convenient for them because Florida won't be too far for certain people.
Yeah.
And so for SoCal, that'll be good for the people on the West Coast as well.
Yo, Flashy, we just talked about you.
There knew a lot of people who were interested in coming to Smash the Record, but they couldn't really afford to fly all the way out to Florida because they were living in California.
Yeah, and you and I know.
So maybe
we both live in the Southeast, so we know it's either a long drive to AGDQ or.
No, you know that it's a long drive to AGDQ.
I know, I've made that drive.
I ain't ever gonna drive that far.
But you know what makes the drive better? Podcasts.
That's true.
I was listening to all kinds of podcasts, so podcasts are great podcasts.
Yeah, dude.
Podcasts.
You could definitely listen to this when you're, driving long ass distances.
Saved my life.
Yes. Just listen to yourself talk the entire time. It'll be great.
Yo, shout outs to bystander Tim Games. What's up, man?
Hi, Tim.
But yeah, that was the big issues we had to deal with Smash the Record speedrunning event was taking care of those things that happened. But otherwise, the event itself was good. I actually did a run for the event too, which is nice because it was the second run of the event, which means I could do that, not have to worry about anything else relating to the run.
It's super nice running early in an event.
Yeah. But my run was kind of spaghetti, but I had fun with it.
Yeah, that's the important part. But yeah, Los Angeles Smash Record next year means some West Coast runners can submit, and that's a big thing you can do. Also give me an
excuse to go over to California, because I have never been.
Nice weather. Really good stuff. Let's see, what's next on the docket? I have no segue.
Hi, Letters.
Hey, it's Letters.
That's our segue. I have no segue.
Hey, it's Letters. What's next?
You know what else has letters? This statement.
What?
Anyways, what's the next on the agenda? I think you said shots
fired.
That's another really good marathon.
Shoutouts to shots fired.
Shoutouts to shots fired.
Obviously, the person with the most knowledge of shots fired here would be me. No, Dr. T Chops.
Shotex?
No, Dr. T Chops did.
Operating shots fired behind, closed curtain.
Chops did a lot of restreaming and stuff. So
I'll take the reins on this one, I guess. So Shots Fired was originally an idea by Shadex, where FPS games are just not really featured all that much in like the big marathons because it's all Mario, Zelda, the kind of nostalgic thing.
Got your
Got your
Marios.
Zeldas.
Got your Marios.
Got your Mega Mans.
Got your Mega Man. Anyway, so
Shots
he
fired.
wanted to make a marathon centered around just like shooter games in general, like FPS third person shooter, like any sort of what we could get around calling a shooter game, we'll put in there.
Games with guns in it.
Yeah, so we ended up with this marathon called Shots Fired, and the first one, like, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We just like threw up the submissions on the SDA forums because this was before Speedrun.com was like established and like the main place now, and then it went well. We got a good reception. We had a lot of viewers, and it was really cool. So of course we did it again, and then we did it again, and
we won't stop.
we'll never stop.
Fuck you.
So,
It's gonna be a Shots Fired every week now.
Dude,
fired
I
every
love
day.
weekly shots.
live from your home. I'll just like restream random shooter games speedruns on Twitch and just put them on the channel.
It's live.
without
It's a
asking.
great marathon.
Yeah, so we ended up with like, I think we had like a peak of 550 for Shots Fired 2 and a peak of 500 viewers around for Shots Fired 3. And considering how we didn't really advertise this all this much or whatever, we're just like, hey, here's this marathon. We're interested in it. And then it turns out, yeah, there's a lot of people who are interested in that.
Yeah, what's really nice for somebody who's actually participated in the marathon for all 3 iterations is just seeing how it kind of just came out of nowhere. I mean, was like talked about amongst the group of people who like were into speedrunning FPS games.
Yeah.
And just out of nowhere, everyone was watching. It's like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And I'm a
really
fan of it too myself, considering like, to me personally, I out of like all the genres of speed games out there, FPS games are like one of the most fun to watch, for me anyways.
it definitely filled like a niche that really needed to be filled, since there's a lot of people who really love there's a lot of people who really love like that kind of speedrun. Lifeline is one of them.
Games such as Lifeline, which was the best thing ever.
I'll talk about the games list. I was really, really excited when we were going through for the submissions, because there was a lot of really fucking cool stuff that I've never seen before and would never get into another marathon that we got to feature, like Lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Lifeline, I will not explain it at all. Just go watch the VOD.
It's
just,
worth
I
it.
promise you, just
It's
go watch the
super
VOD
worth
for
it.
Lifeline.
God, that was great.
And yeah, there's a whole lot of things like Valkyria Chronicles 2. I got to restream that. It had fantastic commentary all the way through. And even though it was like an anime tactics game, I thought it would be really bored, but I was entertained for like 4 hours. So that's cool. Siberia was fantastic.
Siberia is so great.
And we had like at least 14 PBs during the marathon.
Yeah,
and those
they're
not like random like meme games that people were submitting. There was only a few of those. Like a lot of them were like actual speedruns.
Well.
They just played really well.
The funniest thing was like the fact that I PB'd in Nepali with a game crash, which lost me like 35 seconds.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was pretty good.
That was unexpected.
Shoutouts to lots of S, dude.
Shoutouts to lots of S with the greatest game.
3, 2, 1, go. The game crashed.
And my game crashed.
Yeah, that was pretty goddamn good.
One of my favorite moments.
That was pretty great. I like what Cody pointed out, how JRTA Marathon had more viewers. There's one person hosting JRTA, but literally like everyone that we know, like shooter runners or friends or whatever.
I will say it's kind
all
of
hosting Shots Fired.
Fell onto that because we definitely potential viewership was lost because of it, but at the same time JRTA seemed like it was going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad that I kind of missed some of it.
Yeah, that's another thing. I looked through the schedule. Like, I assumed JRTA was going to be like, very popular Japanese kind of style games, so there wouldn't be all that much that I was interested in. And then I looked at the schedule, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually kind of disappointed I missed this, because this actually looked like a pretty good marathon.
Yeah, it's a good marathon.
But I got to watch fucking Shots Fired, so I don't care.
Yeah, so it's like either way, you watch one live, you watch the VODs of the other later, and they're both going to be good.
We had Mr. President, which will, I guarantee
shit.
absolutely never get into anything major. No GDQ. Not even. I don't think even ESA would touch that.
I
That would.
was
But it was fucking hilarious.
That's the
Yeah,
beauty
I
of
was-
having an online marathon that you don't have rules attached to.
watching
we don't
that
have to
was
worry
an
about his
experience
charity or
for
anything.
sure.
But even then, like
Oh.
people circumvent the shooting game rule. Like there was Shots Fired 2 had what was it? Super Mario Sunshine as a run.
It's a water
Which,
gun.
I mean, I guess technically you're shooting a water gun, but that's a very liberal interpretation of shooting. Like
Wow.
Yeah,
anything.
we always
Thanks,
like
liberal media.
we always have like
Mario
a something
Sunshine, shooter.
something there that like is a loose definition of a shooter. Like we've had Fatal Frame 1 and 2, which you just take shots with the camera.
You're taking
So
shots.
it goes.
There we go, shots fired.
But but overall, it's like it's a 4-day long marathon. We're still able to fill it up with just like actual shooter games, which is pretty great.
Yeah, just remind me not to submit like 6 submissions so I don't have to run 4 different games because that was tough.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake. I ended up running 2 games, Dishonored 1 and 2. Dishonored 2 was just a fill-in. We were originally not going to have it at all, but
Can we have a serious talk about that RNG? You got that luck during that puzzle?
yeah. So there's a riddle in the game that you have to solve. You don't. It's like the typical Einstein like puzzle where there's like people living in houses, except it's just labeled differently.
Gives you like a paragraph, and you have to like decipher it, kind of.
Yeah. So luckily, there's like a pattern that you can follow. Like it's always like this person right here matches with this item down here. So you just take those two and you can put it in. And I read it and I clicked like F key to rotate one item and it was solved. And I was just like, what the fuck?
I knew a
Ridiculous.
little bit about that puzzle, and I saw you just like click the thing like a couple times, and I was like, then you freaked out, and I was
Yeah.
like, what? Like
I
thought that was
I had
like
this
way
whole-
more complicated. Fuck that.
Yeah, I had this whole joke like going into it where I was just like, this is an extremely difficult puzzle. I just like, I need to focus for this. I need to make sure I solve this. And then that happened and I couldn't keep it up because it was just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
But,
cool
yeah.
though that you could do Dishonored 2, and then the savior of the marathon.
The savior
The
and
savior.
the
Ran.
savior and then the killer by going over estimate at the very end.
This is, you
The
know,
Saint Million.
I'm practicing. I'm getting back into form. And
It was
didn't
really
do-
entertaining.
I didn't
so.
do the strats that I'm going to do at AGDQ, which is also part of the reason. I want to spoil it. All right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Joe, you have to submit small soldiers next time,
Please do.
or else we'll bully you.
Small soldiers. Dude, that's actually a pretty good run. I've watched it.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what games make good speedruns.
So with Shots Fired and JRTA, like, is it ever a possibility that we can get like Games Done Quick's support? Like, if it's even like a tweet or a host, just have like GDQ host like slightly bigger marathons, because Shots Fired is a relatively big marathon
I
in
think
terms
with
of
the growth of like all these
the runners.
events and stuff, I feel they could afford to do it. It's just
I-
a matter
well,
of if they will.
I think that's a definite possibility going in because they have these things like that GDQ hotfix where they're featuring like race tournaments and stuff like that.
showcase
I
races.
definitely think it's going in that kind of direction where they'll
I
start.
also do want to
featuring
also
stuff.
mention another point. Like another way this could happen is, for example, at Smash the Record, we actually got to use Speedruns Live Twitch channel for the speedrunning section, which was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Shots Fired now has like 2,500 followers now. I think something like that, which is fucking crazy considering we don't really market it. It's just kind of
Yeah,
there.
the scale is not intended to be that big necessarily.
Yeah, like we were just gonna put it on expecting like 50 viewers or whatever, mostly just friends of ours, and it's grown a lot.
Mhm.
Which is dude, Outcast, definitely do Outcast.
Outcast.
That is a
Did I Outcast
super
in Jet
dank.
Academy or?
no. Mumrick is gonna submit Outcast, like just Outcast. That's the name of the game.
Oh,
It's this.
Yeah, way to just assume.
God.
assuming in 2016, right?
2016.
Lol.
It's always gotta be Star Wars with you, Saint. Lol. No.
God.
But no, Shots
So,
Fired
do you even
was amazing.
speedrun any Star Wars games?
We've speed ran Star
Episode
Wars
1.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace for PlayStation.
Come on. He's
Okay.
like 10 minutes behind world record now.
You're not wrong.
Okay, but to be
I was gonna
fair-
say
to be
something, but
fair,
I forgot Purry
be
Purry picked up that game.
Furry found some really consistent shit with the
Yeah,
game,
no,
so
Purry went
That's-
hardcore on that game out of nowhere. And he was like, dude, Saint, what's up? Whenever I'm in his chat, I'm like, whoa, I don't know you. And he's like, dude, Saint, world record console runner over here. Because all the other people who did runs run emulator. They were like decent runs, but it's on emulator, and some tricks are easier in that run on emulator.
Dirty emulator.
Some clips are actually easier. And yeah, he picked up the game and like started doing like task work, like researching the game thoroughly. And I was like, oh, I never did that. And
Yeah,
he got a really good time in that game, and it got rejected for HDQ.
Well,
No,
it was a
whitelisted.
backup. Yeah, it was a
Big
backup game.
difference.
That
and
means it's rejected. Let's be real here.
Yeah, they had to get a lot more backup games since last GDQ. They ran out of backup games. So
Did they ever use a backup game?
yeah, they used all of. They had like 8 or so backup games, and they used all of them for the marathon.
Oh, they were ahead of schedule, weren't they?
Yeah, they went really ahead of schedule.
They even added like we got there
because AGDQ had like a shitload of waitlisted games because
that was for other reasons.
But
so people in chat are mentioning like my favorite part about Shots Fired was like we put on these things that never get featured. Like the one I was talking about was Valkyria Chronicles 2, and you just see the game's community come out, and they're just so goddamn excited because they get to feature this run and talk about how much they care about it. And they never get that chance because nothing else is going to accept a 4-hour tactical anime game.
Yeah, it always feels good. I was watching that run a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, this is like
I remember watching.
Never seen this."
Was it Valkyria Chronicles 1? And I was surprised at how interesting that was. I was like excited that 2 came in.
Yeah,
also,
so there was
Wandering Mind's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, it was
he's a good guy. There's so many different like communities that came out to support it, and then they ended up watching the whole marathon because it was really cool.
I also do want to say that
great.
I'm glad I got to run MDK again because that game is.
MDK is amazing. I love that.
That is a game that just everybody needs to see at least once.
That's why I always do it for Shots Fired because it's not gonna get anywhere else. I think it's funny because there's one part in MDK. It's the second level of the game where you have to wait on a very specific item, and when it spawns and what out of 6 locations it spawns at is random. Both times I've done it in Marathon, it's dropped first time. Any other time I do it, it's going to be like 3 or 4 times where the game is just going to soft lock. So I was really happy that happened.
You got the marathon luck, and I've got the marathon unluck with Blood Money. Because both times
I think that's just
gone
normal
over,
Blood Money.
Both times I've
Blood
gone
Money
over
just does
estimate
that
because Blood Money sucks. Fuck that game. No,
wow.
I love it. It's just sometimes it just does some things. And you're just
I went like 51 seconds over estimate for Dishonored all collectibles. Partly just because I was fucking around showing stuff off. Partly because the game like soft locked on me in ways that I'd never seen.
If you're showing stuff off, that's good spectator sport, and that warrants going over estimate.
Yeah, as long as people enjoyed it, then it's fine.
Just like what this guy says in chat, MDK's ending. Even if I'm underestimate or over it, you got to see the ending.
Yeah,
the ending to MDK is a thing.
Every time
for Shots Fired, we were within 20 minutes ahead or behind for the entire marathon. Like we never deviated. We had like 2 or 3 drops that we had to fill, and we still were like dead on the entire time.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. That's
pretty impressive.
Honestly, the nicest things about how it's done for Shots Fired is like the way it's set up, and the way everything goes and such. Everything's just so streamlined, and everything can just basically be done instantly.
Yeah, all the transitions were great. The layout was great. Like the marathon on like a technical level was fantastic. Game was decent.
So I talked to Vulgin before this because they used Beam for the Cal Fire Relief Marathon, and he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty decent. Like Tachyon is not, it's eh." And then that was our experience. Tachyon it's kind of shit, but Beam itself is pretty decent. So I'm really looking forward to when like Tachyon and their FTL protocol is like actually stable and we can like actually use it consistently.
I feel like there were only a couple times during the marathon where it was like the stream like just dropped frames kind of. It was like in the multiple runs I saw. It was like a few seconds of drop frames. That was about it.
It's just I don't think the Tachyon or FTL, one of those two, it just doesn't handle dropped frames well or like computer lag or anything. Like for the Crisis run, every time load finished, it would just stutter and drop a bunch of frames for a second. There's nothing I can do about that, Niskiran. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Havert says, have you talked about the PBs? Yes, we did. There were all kinds of PBs.
There were a lot.
And there were a
At
few
least
world
14.
records.
At least a couple world records.
And
There's
it was pretty
everybody
crazy.
was just I don't. There was no run that I watched that I didn't enjoy because
Yeah, I can say
they
the same.
either played really well or they commentated really well, and in most cases it was both, which is pretty awesome.
Commentary is usually good because people are just kind of having fun and
People are
Yeah.
passionate about
They're-
it.
they're
yeah, and
really-
they're passionate and they don't get to run their
really
game
passionate.
marathons a lot,
Mhm.
so it's fun.
They obviously really care about the run that they're putting on, so it's great.
I will say,
I'm out of beer.
Oh yeah.
you both ran out at the same time, and I still got like
Well,
actually
I still
repoured.
have-
So
I still
Oh
have
yeah,
that
that's right. You
much
got
left.
a bomber, so you got more. See, I'm empty. I have to go to the kitchen.
Mine
if
is
I want
650
anything else.
milliliters.
mine's is like right here, right?
Mm.
If I need something else, I have to go to the kitchen for it. So
Yeah.
might do that in a
But-
second.
I was
Shots-
like half watching your run, Recult. Like half.
did you do Ape Escape?
He did an Ape Escape spin-off. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, okay.
There's a spin-off of Ape Escape.
Yeah, it was like you play as the apes. You're not.
Oh,
You're not
man.
cat
Oh, that's
friendly.
hype.
What a twist!
I've never seen that.
What a
actually.
twist!
No, Shots
Oh,
Fired.
9 was a pretty good meme as well. Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of time to watch Shots Fired. I got to watch the VODs because I was working most of the
Yeah, there were
marathon.
same. It's a very busy week at work for me, so
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
get to see every single run,
But
but I did get to see a lot of them when I was off for my runs.
yeah, I'll give that marathon 17 stars out of 19.
Yeah, I will
What?
say Shots Fired is
Not a
probably
perfect
been my
score.
favorite
Okay.
online marathon.
Room for improvement.
Part
We're on the St. Million scale.
I'm giving it a 5 out of a scale from -5 to 5.
Whoa!
Oh, that's like a 10, huh?
Yeah.
No, it's a
I
five.
know
you
math.
idiot.
It's a
Jesus.
5 in a scale from -5 to 5. Duh,
You don't just like add numbers, dude.
Listen,
idiot.
here's my hard segue.
Hardest.
I'm looking at the schedule right now.
Hard segment is pretty
Give it
high
a
speed.
10 out of 10.
Give it a 10 out of 10. Oh yeah. Talk about Twitch adding a speedrun directory, possibly for speedrunning, and this Trihex interview where it came from. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
also a Spike Vegeta interview with the same website, PvPnet, about how speedrunning should move more towards a esports / competitive direction.
Okay, so first of all, why is a site called PvPnet reporting on speedrunning when
Yeah, that's what I'm
speedrunning is
wondering.
not
Because they
PvP?
need views. And
Of
it's,
course.
And it's easy.
They gotta get that ad revenue.
So
I think that right there is like that sums up what we think of both of these articles.
Yeah. So Twitch adding a speedrun directory, potentially replacing Speedruns Live. I'm
I do have
still
something
gonna
to
wear the
say
shirt.
on that, and specifically since you mentioned that. I do think that Speedruns Live is definitely a service and website that people don't honestly care about as much as they used to.
It was a big
There's a
thing
nu-
in like
there is a-
2013.
There is a number of
whatever.
reasons why it's not that case anymore. It's not just Narcissa Wright not speedrunning anymore, but
Please.
it's
It's not on the schedule list.
no, it's not. Well, that's another time. But anyways, here's the thing I think about the whole directory thing. I think there's both positives and negatives to the idea. Like for one, if people want to watch speedruns, when they went to Speedrun Live, that's obviously what they came there for. They want to see people run games. And they know there's other directories and stuff that lead to people like, the Twitter for watch speedruns and stuff.
Are we on Speedruns Live?
But there's
right
not
now?
like a streamlined way of doing it. And if Twitch did that, that obviously would be a much easier way for people to find people speedrunning the games they like. The downside I see to it, though, is this is a really small thing. It's more that is another way to separate different types of streams. Like, it's definitely hurting more the casual streamer as well. I mean, obviously, some of us might not care about that, but it kind of hurts the people who want to get into streaming. It's like, people can look at games for, let's say Super Mario 64. The first half of that shit's going to be speedrunning. and the other half's going to be casual play or whatever, then
Yeah.
if a person decides to casually stream it, people might be more interested in just looking at the speedrunning aspect of it rather than being noticed for it being Mario 64. They're like, oh, I want to look at speedruns specifically of this game. So it's good in the sense that it's a directory, but I do worry that it potentially could harm others like casual streamers who are like still like low key, not like popular. Obviously,
A
the
bit,
popular people
yeah.
don't have to worry about that.
Yes, like speedrunning is in this weird state where it's like clearly there's a community here. It's like
Yeah.
there is a cohesive speedrun that like community that separates them from everything else, which you don't really get with like anything else that people regularly stream. Like let's plays are just let's plays. Like there's
People
literally everything does
showing
that.
video games.
But speedrunning is still like it's really freaking small.
Yeah,
There's
it's
like
super.
a
It's
handful
a
of
very
people who
niche
get
community.
there's a handful of people who get good viewers, and then everybody else just gets like nothing
And that's
compared
the
to
thing.
everybody
There are a
else
lot
on
of people
Twitch.
who are speedrunners who also have sub buttons, but these are people who get like around 100 views and maybe like less than 50 subscribers. That's as far as it's like Twitch big views concerned. That's nothing.
Yeah, the only people
It's
who
still
get
very small.
the only people who get really big, like who are also speedrunners, would have gotten big doing anything else, like because their personalities
Yeah,
I
make them
remember
good
I
streamers.
saw was it? I think Graviton posted a picture on Twitter once while talking about Speedruns Live, and it was like a graph somebody that had to do with like interest in speedrunning.
yeah, I've seen this. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great for the record, but and then that's kind of the big thing. The big interest kind of peaks at people who are like, speedrunning was cool for a few years, but I'm just gonna do let's plays now.
yeah. I
And
think that's like the main thing of where speedrunning is going is that like it's just a thing people kind of do for fun. It's not
It's a
really
hobby.
going to be the main focus of anything. Yeah, it's just a hobby. You can't like really care about it for
You
more than a
can't
couple of years
make a
'cause
living off of it or anything.
yeah, it's hard to make a living off
It's
of it.
a
you'll just get
passion.
completely you can't make a living off a hobby or anything like that. You'll just get burnt out on it, and then
Yeah.
after a couple of years you'll just move on. And that's
it's
generally
not
what the
like-
really popular people do. They do speedruns sometimes, but they just do other things.
And it's not like if you're playing a competitive like video game like Dota or League of Legends, there's obvious money in that if you play well and you are like sponsored and there's tournaments for it. Speedrunning, you're just competing for, the best time, occasionally racing somebody. There's not like
Yeah.
a big cash pool waiting for you just because you do it.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know. It's kind of like my dad builds model airplanes. That's his hobby, and he likes flying like really good airplanes, and he like works on them. And there's some friends he hangs out with, and they go to some airfield and fly airplanes. That's not like a profitable hobby. That's just his passion project. That's kind of
Just
like,
do it for fun.
yeah, that's what speedrunning is. You're not doing it to get on Kotaku.
Wow.
Well,
Rexley clearly is.
I don't know, man.
fucking
Getting the
damn.
Kotaku seal of approval.
the
would be
Kotaku
like-
seal of approval.
You just want it once. Once you get it once, that'll be fine.
Comments that come attached to it.
I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm not a real speedrunner.
You're not a real speedrunner then. Ugh, terrible.
Are you even trying, Sate?
God.
No, obviously
I at least
not.
got featured on PC Gamer.
I will
I've been in
say,
PC Gamer a couple times. Come on, man.
dude, Chops is famous. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
Chops is a legend. Peak viewership at SGDQ.
Oh, that Skyrim run though. Oh,
That is cut.
Ooh.
It's huge.
oh.
Whew.
I did go to Speedruns Live to check if we are there. Turns out Speedruns Live filters out gaming talk shows.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Dead site.
Literally talking about speedrunning.
It was
We'll try to
already
do
a
this
dead
as
site.
quickly
It's
as
even more dead
possible.
now.
Quick, put some splits on the fucking overlay, and we'll be good to go.
No, we're a gaming talk show, so they don't put us on the page at all.
Jeez. Does
That's
does
pretty-
fucking final split go up on there? Because if
shaking
I
my
see
head.
final split up on Speedruns
Fucking
Live,
so
Well, that's
I'm
the
gonna
thing.
stupid.
I swear to God, back when like Sunday Sequence Break was still active, I swore I would see that. on
They
there.
were on there, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like
I think that
banned.
was before. I think that was before gaming talk shows existed on Twitch, though.
Okay.
But
I don't think I'm.
I missed that podcast. That was a good
That
podcast.
was. They were really good people for that.
It was awesome. It was so good.
So I think like another like tying to the other article that was on where Spike Vegeta wants like tournaments and stuff for speedrunning. One of the other problems with Speedruns Live is that it's so focused on racing, and there's like
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
10 games that are actually good for racing, and everything else is not
And
even
if it's not
slightly good for racing.
even if it's not good for racing, it's like there's not a lot that have active races going on for it.
Yeah,
Like occasionally, some people for a community will be like, "Hey, let's have a big race together." Happened with Resident Evil 2 a while ago, and we did a race. That was the end of it.
yeah, there
But you're
was
right.
so
Because
Mirror's Edge, which is like one of the biggest like PC
games.
speedrunning scenes.
It's like the
There's
SM64 of PC.
yeah,
kind of.
like, except like
in
a
a way.
tenth the size, but you know. And they
That's
had
how
like,
it goes.
they had a big ass tournament where it was like they had like 32 people, and they struggled to fill that tournament and had to replace people. And then it really only came down to like the top 3-ish runners. And then they finished it, and it's like, okay, well, there's no reason to do that for like another 2 years or something like that. And that's like the biggest, most active PC speedrun. And they're struggling to fill it. Like right here, live, like I'm looking at the games list of speedrun.com or for Speedruns Live. There's like SM64 is like a full bar.
of course,
Ocarina of Time is like this. And then the next game is like this.
And that's
See,
Ocarina
it's
of
funny
Time.
'cause
And then
back
everything
in, like-
else is just
back
tiny.
in like 2013 when I'd first gotten into speedrunning with whatever shitty games I played, that wasn't the case. Like there would be fluctuations between games underneath OOT and SM64 for popularity. Occasionally be, you know, like good games like Super Meat Boy. There'd also be like that occasional meme game that's really popular for the week that makes it into the top 10 somehow. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like you're like nowadays that's definitely a good indicator. You know, it's mostly just this like the SM64, the OOT bingo races, then whatever that small percentage is.
Yeah, I think it's like the problem with like racing and speedrunning is that there's no point in doing that. If you want some direct competition, you have esports. You have things that are way better suited for it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that makes speedrunning cool is the whole like collaborative effort of
it's
of
cooperative
like
and
roading
stuff
a
like
game and like working together to get the time down and everything like that. That's what
And
makes
even
speedrunning
then,
good.
there's like the competition for world record and stuff, but that's not something that needs to be blown out of
That's
proportion. That's usually
that's
between
something
like
that
three
matters.
people.
That's not active competition necessarily.
That's
It's
whenever
even
somebody decides,
ongoing.
hey, I want to get this world record.
Yeah, even for like the most popular runs like Super Mario Sunshine or something like that, that's like maybe 2 or 3 people that actively compete for it. And that's about it.
And that's not like you should
there's-
have a tournament for that. It's like, no, it's just this few people
Yeah,
are
it's
doing
also-
it when they feel like
it's
it.
not something that you can like show live in like a Smash the Record kind of tournament or anything like that. Because people do different strats, and sure they have like different skill levels, but it doesn't really matter.
To quote,
One thing that kind of separates speedrunning from like competitive fighting games or, you know, team-based games like Dota is, yes, there might be like RNG elements in those games, but in speedrunning, it's a whole different approach that you have to take. You could actually like lose competitive time to something that you have no control over, and
Yes.
a lot of games suffer because of that. So at a competitive level, that's kind of flawed logic for me, someone who's been interested in competitive games before, and that's
Right.
one thing that speedrunning definitely has to worry about.
So Momo is asking a good question. One tournament that is actually good. There's a tournament that Broshensa runs, and it's called Kuso Grande, and it's basically a tournament where you play really fucking shitty games for an
pretty good.
hour, and like it's not really something that's that you show off or anything. It's not like a big esports tournament. It's just
Play for money.
for fun.
Prize pool.
There's no money. It's just
$10,000.
here's a fucking shitty game that you play, and that's hella fun.
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
just great.
so stupid.
Same with
Yeah,
the
but that's
SRL
the
Mystery
thing.
Tournament. SRL
Yeah, it's
Mystery
like the
Tournament
same
is
as
great to
Mystery
watch.
Tournament.
That's another thing that's nice about like competitive races on SRL when they were like bigger. It's, you know, it was for fun. It wasn't necessarily for, you know, the honor or anything like that. It's just, you know, people who like the game who are at similar skill levels are like, hey, want to race this game next week? Like, yeah, sure, why not? And then that's what they did.
Yeah, and
all
that's
there was
never
to
really
it.
gonna grow as like a popular thing to watch on Twitch,
No,
because
not.
it's
a
just
very
it's for the
niche-
runners. It's for speedrunners to watch other speedrunners, basically.
Yeah.
And
It's
if there are
not
people
really
who
gonna
are
get
interested
popular
in
out there.
casual watching, that's not going to fall down to like if it's a good speedrun. I think it's mostly going to fall down if the streamer is good, in my opinion. Because there are a lot of
Yeah.
games that have really good players that have world records, that will never get noticed.
Before we
And
get
it's more of a streamer-based thing. And obviously, there's exceptions. Like if anyone came right now and got the SM64 world record that wasn't one of the top 5, they would get noticed instantly.
yes,
But not every game gets that privilege.
Yeah, Momo entries for that was done a while ago. I just have to follow the person running it, and then he just tweets out like an entry form, and you
are
fill
you
it
talking
out.
about Kuso Grande?
Yeah,
I love that name.
yeah, it's pretty good.
So
It's
good.
too so grande because it's the second one.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Does this mean that Kuso Grande 3 is going to have a 3 instead of the E at the end of Grande?
Who knows? Maybe it'll just be three so grande. Maybe they'll take that route.
So I feel like this discussion is slowly going into the speedrunning competitive esports thing. But before we go into that, which is like the Spike Vegeta interview, which is
It's
I
a
thought
good
that was
thing.
what we
pretty
were
funny.
talking about in general, but
It is what we were talking about, but like I just want to mention back in the day, 2012, 2013-ish, even into 2014, I think, Speedruns Live had a requirement to be on the front page where you had to race for at least 2 months. The first month you needed like at least like I think it was like 25 hours worth of racing, and then the second month you needed to be racing somewhat a little bit more. And you had to be using Speedruns Live like IRC to have it recorded, or else you could not get onto the front page of Speedruns Live. And that was probably the shittiest thing that they ever had for speedrunning. Because fuck
you imagine?
races.
but they
Could you
eventually-
imagine running Max Payne 2?
Nobody's racing Jet Set
I'm-
Radio. All right?
I need
Nobody's
fucking
running
10 hours of races for this.
Nobody's running Fantasy Star Online. I'm not getting on Speedruns Live. I just want to stream. Streaming's not as fun when you have no people there. If there are at least 5 to 10 people there, it's more fun. And fuck Speedruns Live. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was like
system was garbage.
you,
I will say
you just
this,
did runs
I
to
will
do
say
runs and
this.
get on.
They at least had an easier way of getting noticed at first, like towards 2013 when it changed to more like you had to participate in I think like 10 races or whatever at least before you could be noticed.
It was like that, but there was also an hour requirement. It was
I remember that.
ridiculous.
But I do remember one thing in particular is that one thing people did to exploit that was like they would race the shittiest possible things. Like they would
SM64
race some
16
mini
star
flash game,
for that.
like or they would. There's one person I don't remember their name. God
Who
bless
fuck
them.
Speedruns Live
They
with
would-
an SRL shirt on?
They wanted to like they would always go into the chat asking to race like what is it the trials mode for Street Fighter 4, and I'm like that's not a speed run. That's being good at
beating the
combos
game.
in fighting games. That's
Beating
not the
the
same
game.
Could
thing.
you imagine racing Fallout 4 for 25 hours? Oh god.
All right, I have
Can
a
you imagine
confession.
just speedrunning Fallout 4?
I have a confession to make.
What?
I picked up SM64 to get on Speedruns Live.
Okay, to be
There's
fair,
a lot
that-
of people that did that.
I was like, I'll
everyone
just run
does.
16 star. That's all I'm gonna do, and that's all I did for
Exactly,
like a month.
That's it. Everyone
And-
picks up 16 star.
I still didn't get on Speedruns Live. When I met the
Dude,
requirements,
did you
they
suck
said
that much?
no. All you got to do is finish races. I lost a lot.
'Cause
My
I
average
remember,
time was
that
like 20
that
minutes.
was my thing. I got into SM64. That was my
And I do-
gateway into speedrunning.
I actually do like
Was
SM64. I
16
love it.
Yeah, I love SM64 as a speed game. 16 star is a stupid category.
Yeah,
though.
fuck 16 star. That's
It's
all
an
I'm gonna say.
incredibly arbitrary meme category.
But it counted, supposedly.
I mean,
Yeah.
I liked that game when I was like 8 or whatever. When did it come out? Like
1996.
96? All right. So
Yeah.
like when I was 7-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was
And
6 years old.
I don't
I was 4.
When I was
I
young.
just nostalgia doesn't fucking do all that much for me.
It's
I'm
a-
not gonna fucking run SM64 just
The
because I played
movement's
it as a
good.
kid.
The nostalgia doesn't
Yeah.
fix the camera. That's what I gotta say.
Nostalgia
I'd-
doesn't justify running it for 25 hours worth of time and running it for a month straight when you want to run Jet Set Radio. I'm pissed.
Yeah, like when I came on, I fucking ran Skyrim, and it's like nobody fucking races.
Yeah, no one
Skyrim,
races
'cause it's,
this,
And
so
It's arbitrary who wins. So
That's
what the
thing
fuck
that
is
can
the
happen
point?
with me. Like my big thing was doing 64, 16 stars, and then it was I had this interest to try something different because I wasn't feeling that, and that's how I got into Shadows of the Empire and the N64 back in the day. Was like I was this is a game I really like. Maybe I'll try this instead. And then I met people through the speedrunning community because apparently somebody else had routed the game when I was interested in it. So it was nicer to do that because I enjoyed the game more than I enjoyed SM64, and that's kind of what has happened. I'll find games that I'm interested in, but if I'm not interested in it, fuck it, I'm gonna
Okay.
play what I like, even if it's not the most popular racing game.
Wow, I've had 45 total races on SRL apparently.
Oh,
I wonder
wow.
how many
I
of them are
I'm actually
memes.
gonna check
That's actually a
that.
lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were mostly meme races with like
Oh no, I've had
a
plenty
lot
of
of
meme
people.
races. They're great.
Oh man, an Empafine. Now that was a great time.
Oh god. Oh god. Hold up. I just fucked
Are we
everything
about
up.
to check our speedruns live profiles? Where's my profile?
Oh, now I'm sad because I just saw Grayscale in the
I
list of
have
runners.
only okay.
Oh,
Never mind.
no.
That's more than I thought. I've done 53 races on SRL. That's a lot more than I remember.
I opened an article and I just fucked up all the webcams, but they're okay now. But I don't know how I'm gonna open this article now.
I think the worst
I'll just
race
use
I've
my
ever
phone.
Use another window. How
I
hard is
did.
it?
I moved it to a different window and it kept. It just didn't fix.
You're
the worst
terrible
race I've
streaming.
ever participated
Listen,
in
this
was
is-
it WarioWare Inc. Micro
this is
Games,
the
because I didn't
pilot
know that there was a
episode.
speed run for that. I just did it because I was fucking bored. And I was like, all right. So I did it, and I didn't win because the person who did it was close to PB, is what their quote was.
All right, so I have like 3 Skyrim races, and then any percent, 180 field of view, and any percent set scale 5.
180
Great
field
shit.
of view.
Field of view category. Please.
Yeah,
dude.
it's
sounds
just
awesome.
fucking dumb arbitrary races.
That's like
Dumb
something.
arbitrary races can be fun, though.
That's like something
I
someone
won them
would do.
though. I fucking won them.
It's like something someone would do and then post it to YouTube and then put world record and then try to get a bunch of views.
I should put world record.
Shoutouts to what was that one? Which game that Letters runs where one guy
Oh yeah,
made the
fucking
category
No
that
One Left Behind Mass Effect.
yeah, no one
2.
left behind Mass Effect 2, and then Letters
Oh,
did one
baby.
run and like destroyed it.
It was one run. Everything went as wrong as possible.
Yeah.
Somebody died in the last part, so we had to go back and lost half an hour, and he still beat their time by like 45
Pretty
minutes. It was fantastic.
That Reddit thread was pretty fantastic.
We're starting to get out of like.
It was like one of the most entertaining streams I've watched though, because of how horrible it was going.
Yeah, I think we kind of teetered off from the main point though, but that's fine. It just kind of adds in a way because it's like it's about fun. It's not about
Yeah.
being competitive or esports. It's not going to be like that.
Speaking of competitive or esports, let's talk about the Spike Vegeta article that I have on my phone now. Because I
On your
can't pull it
phone.
up on my computer.
on. I need
fucking-
more
It's like,
beer
hi,
for
let me get my
this.
phone. This is my Samsung Galaxy S7. Not sponsored, by the way.
We're about that LG life. Like a
Oh,
ripper.
you
I'm
degenerate.
pretty
What are
I'm
you-
pretty sure it's Hawaii. Hawaii. How do you say that again?
We're not part of Kauai here.
No, we're not.
This is
It's
Play-Doh Pepsi.
wrong way. It's flipped. Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Dude, that's enough information for me to steal your
Dude,
credit
I'm sorry.
card. Get fucked. Dude.
Sup case.
No, it's Conductor Craft Ale. That's what my phone is. Conductor Craft Ale.
Dude, he looks almost like the Fallout guy.
Wow,
Is
that's
that
amazing.
is that why you bought it?
You're never going to escape. Ever.
Anyways,
Huawei?
Anyways, yeah, the article.
Spike Vegeta's article, and I wanted to quote this earlier in our conversations where he says, I would love nothing more than to have 100 people in a room running 70-star SM64 in a tournament.
That'd be what
That's
smelling like.
never going to happen.
That does not sound fun
No.
or entertaining. But we were talking about esports and competitive earlier, and I wanted to bring up that speedrunning will never be like, okay, so you have like Street Fighter, right? There are two people, you're reading the other person, you can outplay the other person, you're like, it's like a back and forth. It's like a conversation. It's a fighting game. Esports is just two people playing like the software in front of them, and like there can be RNG, there can be like weird things, and it's just like who's on point with execution that day. So this whole esports speedrunning thing is really weird.
Yeah, you're never playing against someone. It's always indirectly competitive with just who happens to have the faster time at the end.
Yep.
It'll never be an esport for that reason.
Yeah, but that's what this whole we talked about the Trihex, speedrun directory thing. But this is Spike Vegeta's interview where he talks about competitive speedrunning and esports speedrunning, like that.
Yeah.
Really, not so sure.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind
another
of
thing.
It's kind of a very iffy thing because I don't see it getting to that level.
That's another thing Letters says. It's really hard for casual viewers to like know what's going on in a speedrun race.
Oh yeah,
It's like with a
exactly.
fighting game, you have health bars. Whoever is higher is winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like with fighting games, if somebody is getting thrown in a corner, you know that they're not in control of the situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
pretty
good.
obvious.
You probably don't
When-
want to be in a corner.
No.
With speedrunning, like they could be doing different strats, they could be doing different order of levels or anything depending on the run. They could just be on different levels, and if they're not familiar with the run, you just don't know
And
which one's ahead.
To
There's
add
no
on to
relating them.
that, there are other games that are kind of hard to follow if you're not sure. Like I think the best example is StarCraft. I don't play the game. I don't know what the hell's going on when a competitive match goes on. And so, like, the niche audience who knows StarCraft is going to be who's watching it. The problem is, they have numbers. That's the thing. It's a very competitive base, and that's what speedrunning doesn't have.
And StarCraft still has that thing where if somebody's base is getting fucked,
yeah,
it's
like,
pretty obvious.
If you see somebody getting rushed, their base is under attack. That's obvious. There's enough there.
Yeah, but with speedrunning, it's like, I guess we'll just wait for time.
And speedrunning, the other thing with speedrunning is, games aren't set at a specific amount of time. Some runs are, 15 minutes, others are like 3.5 hours.
The thing is, if you want speedrunning to be competitive, you need to pick like 1, 2, maybe 3 games. The speedrunning is thousands of games. StarCraft, 1 game. Melee, 1 game. Street Fighter, 1 game. People know the rules of those games. Speedrunning, if you just have a random speedrunning tournament and you pick a game, like let's say you pick Mirror's Edge or something like that, no one knows what the fuck is going on. No one knows the rules of... No one knows the tricks. No one knows
and
anything.
If people don't know the rules, they're just going to assume you're cheating.
Or if you're if you're playing like Super Metroid, which is a popular one, but somebody doesn't have the right missile count, or they didn't get good missile drop RNG, like they're just gonna... commentators gonna be like, oh no, missiles aren't good at this point, and the viewers are gonna be like, what? I'm like, what are you talking? What? I don't get it.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Like, there's not thousands of games because there's like maybe 10 games to pick from that would have enough people to do a big tournament.
Yeah. Well, in speedrunning, it's all bunch of games. Like bunch of games are getting speedrunning, but and as far as the tournament goes, you'd have to pick like one of the top ones to be competitive, I guess.
Yeah.
If you went
We're all
down
just
that
waiting
path.
for SRL season 2 to come, and then SRL will be back on top.
Stop! Don't even bring that up. SRL leaderboards when.
Oh yeah, graveyard bench percent runs where it's literally RNG. Like all it is walking forward, sitting on a bench, and waiting for the character to die. That's equivalent to any other race because it comes down to shit that you can't really control. Yeah, and you can't really do PC games.
On that note, we should just have a 2 worlds tournament.
Yeah,
God.
2 worlds 80% tournament. Be done in an hour. 60 people, hour. We'll be done.
But I will say, like, a good example from my experience is actually something that happened at Shots Fired when the first run of the event was a race between Cubeface and Sphere for, was it Daikatana? I don't know the game at a level where I can recognize where somebody is in a run, so I kind of jumped in on it halfway through, and I'm like, I don't know who's in the lead.
Yeah, you have no idea what's happening. It's just like you wait and see like something that you recognize from one stream and the other stream, but it doesn't really happen all that often.
Another thing that's a disadvantage is you have to pay attention to multiple screens. And I mean, other esports can do that, but I feel like most of them in general will be on one screen or like one spectator field. So you, like people who are experienced with like broadcasting that are going to show you what you need to see. and any of the games that don't, that you need multiple like screens and stuff, will be followed in a way so that you understand what's going on, like with competitive console shooters like Halo.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's 2 different games, something could radically change between one person and the other runner, and they wouldn't know what's going on anymore.
Mm-hmm. But that's play opposite of that argument. Really good commentators can save races.
That is true.
Like the Ninja Gaiden Relay, that was in one of the recent GDQs, or the Super Metroid any percent race at AGQ 2014, which is like a really good race to watch. Even if you don't like Super Metroid, the commentators really make it work. Necessarily,
And that's like really rare.
and that's like, rare and not always gonna happen.
People are always just like, holy shit, the Super Metroid race was fucking amazing. Let's have a Super Metroid race in every single GDQ ever. And every single one after that has been disappointing.
To the credit
because you'll just never capture that again.
Yeah, the Super Metroid races can be really good, but the commentators carry it. They straight up carry it. Aside from the runners, who are obviously amazing, the commentators who are explaining what's going on and like building hype, that's important, and also not going to be on point in every like race or tournament that you're having for whatever run you're doing.
Man, could you imagine putting on a big ass show and having a Super Metroid race where 3 out of 4 people die? And having to commentate that?
I'm still hoping for that eventual race where everyone dies. And then that's it.
Yeah, and then it's just like
I want to see what happens.
That would be hilarious, but it would also be awful.
It would be awful. I don't want it to happen, but I want to see what would like be the turnout. Because I do like watching
everyone just goes to their hotel rooms and just cries.
Yeah, it would be sad. Like it would just be like, that was the big thing of the marathon, huh? And then it didn't happen.
It's like, I remember that one time everyone just totally fucking died? That was great.
Dude, shoutouts to Behemoth for surviving in that one run.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Metroid race, or the route just keeps getting more and more dangerous, so it's going to happen.
Give credit where it's due, dying on Super Metroid's not completely unjustified because the route's really fucking difficult.
Yeah, and it just keeps getting more difficult as they do riskier and riskier strats and RTA runs. And you can't just
save that extra second, dude.
You can't just like not do the fast strat. Like, what would be the point?
Racing.
I'm gonna do this marathon-friendly strat.
And there's the one guy who does the safe stuff.
Yeah, and then wins because everyone else is fucking dead.
Because
he's like 10 minutes behind.
Metroid.
But hey, it's easy. It was funny because like there was like 4 or so people that submitted Super Metroid any percent, but with the 2012 route because it would be super safe and they'd all be fine. Of course, it got fucking rejected because nobody's gonna accept that.
Yeah,
it'll never get in, but it should get in. Like every other game is assumed that you do safe strats and you have your marathon like open to bad things happening.
Yeah,
but in a race, you gotta fucking win. It's expected.
That's another weird thing. It's like if I do safe strats, then I might be good, but I'm slower. And if I do risky strats, I'm either super winning or I'm super losing. And then there's like a point in the run where it's like, oh, I did the risky strat and I lost, so I'm probably losing. And then the whole viewing experience is like, oh, this guy's behind the whole time, and that's the way it's gonna be.
It's just kind of
another downside to like if there is a race going on and somebody does an optimally faster one and fucks it up or dies, whatever. Somebody else could be playing really slow and not nearly as interesting. That's subjective, though. But then you have to watch that. So it's not necessarily going to be as interesting or entertaining if you watch somebody do something super slow compared to the other one. So it's kind of an awkward thing.
Yeah, there's kind of a weird thing with speedruns where it's like you fuck up one trick and that's it. Either you die or you lose a minute and then it's just crap.
You soft-lock the game.
Yeah, you soft-lock a game, something like that. Whereas with most esports, usually making one mistake is not that big a deal. Like in fighting games, worst case, you just lose like 1 round.
Yeah, you lose a round, you lose neutral game for like 10 seconds, and that's
it. That's about all. That's the worst thing that can happen.
And speedrunning is just like, oh, you were That's gonna affect you the whole run, motherfucker.
with, like,
Sorry, you're
video
fucking
games are
done.
such a good example for this because that's pure competition between two people.
Yeah.
So if something does go out of your favor, you can recover, and it's up to you as a player versus another player, not up to you as a player versus whatever the game throws at you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much the gist of Spike Vegeta's interview. He's like,
That's nothing
competition,
against Spike Vegeta.
esports, gonna
'Cause
be
I like
competition.
Spike Vegeta. He's a nice guy,
He's amazing. I do.
but I have
I
opposite
love
opinions
Spike
to
Vegeta,
his.
but this interview is delusional.
Naive.
It's delusional at best.
I
Yeah.
like your word choice.
I'm sorry. It's
I was
just
trying to
is.
be slightly nicer, but no, you're right.
No, I think he's cool. I've met him. We ran.
Yeah.
I was practicing Demon Souls. He was practicing Triple Freeze. We were like, yeah. No, it's a delusional interview. It's
Yeah.
not the future of speedrunning. It's just not the nature of it. And it
It's just
can't
never gonna work.
work. I love
That's
SRL mystery tournaments, but that's not.
Yeah,
gonna
that's
work
again.
out.
That goes back to the whole idea of just doing it for fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
also just like as a spectator, I am way more. Whoops, I hit my mic. I'm way more impressed and excited to watch something like somebody who's just showing off the game and like doing a marathon run, explaining all the different things, explaining all the strats they're doing, the history behind it. All of that is 1,000 times more interesting than watching just two people do the run beside each other.
but
I
the
mean,
main
unless it's the only way they can capitalize on it is if it's something people have seen over and over again done by one person, which is kind of what Super Metroid was in. But again, yeah, I personally find it more entertaining to watch somebody explain the game
I
than
do
to race it.
I do as well, but I think I understand where Spike's coming from in his points. He's saying, okay, if we have people who are not speedrunners, people who are just gamers, who know these games, who want to spectate and watch something speedrun related, what's the best possible venue for them to like be entertained by it? And it might be a race. That's basically what he's getting at. Instead of I prefer the commentary and like people explaining and showing off tricks and stuff like that because that's infinitely more entertaining for me. But for the
There's a
common viewer, it might be different.
Well, there's a reason like the GDQs are popular because that's basically the peak that you can do with speedrunning as a viewer, like as
Mhm.
like a show to put on is that kind of style. And like we go back to like what we talked about ages ago. Speedrunning is a hobby. It's not really something that you can do financially or have big tournaments or anything because it's just a hobby. It's not really going to grow anywhere from here. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Take the Skyrim glitch exhibition. It was always amazing to watch, and that's like one of the reasons to watch AGDQ is like, oh, that's something you can do in the game. Hell yeah, it's hilarious.
It's just show off dumb shit.
Yeah,
with
it's
this
like,
video
this game is actually broken.
Yeah, it's like the collaboration of people for 5 years. All the shit that they found. That's what's cool about
5
speedrunning.
years led up to a great speedrun and then horse tilting.
And then horse tilting came and fucking killed. No, I'm fine.
Horse tilting's actually super hype. I love watching
Horse tilting is fucking hilarious.
It's so great.
But it is so cancer.
It's a love-hate kind of thing. Cool.
Oh, yeah, everybody wants life. Could you imagine lifeline races? Holy shit!
Oh my god, dude, who
Just
can pronounce?
imagine there's like 100-man Mario race, and then they just like, nah, just kidding, it's lifeline.
Oh man, I would watch 100-man lifeline tournament, right? Just straight up. That's like the exception to everything we've talked
And
about.
then
I
there's
would
a
watch
side
that.
tournament for 2 worlds.
Yeah, who can pronounce the words in lifeline better? That's pure execution at that point.
I mean, the runner or the winner would end up just being who has the most Japanese accent, because that's who made the voice recognition.
So yeah, that's those interviews on PvPnet. Google PvPnet, you'll probably find it.
Yeah, you can if you can't find them like link, you can definitely see Base Try X is making on his article. It's pretty distinct.
It will be in the YouTube description, right? Because it's going on YouTube.
Probably should have linked that.
It's
for
gonna
chat.
be on YouTube. I'm recording locally.
Did you even end up linking it for chat at all for them to read while we were talking about it?
No,
Maybe we should have done that. Yeah, maybe.
Probably should have done
I
that.
didn't.
Well, I'll link them right
we
now. Here's the
suck.
Trihex one.
No,
and
we
here's
just
the
do
Spike
shit.
Vegeta one.
This is canceled.
This is
I'm
the
gonna go
first
take
We
and
know
a-
what we're
last
doing.
episode of Speedrunners Anonymous.
So now that we've finished talking about them, we're gonna move on. You guys can read them.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave, if for the YouTube viewers, leave your opinions on those in the comments. Love to hear what you have to say.
The Psycho Ripper.
Yes.
You have any burning thoughts on YouTuber extraordinaire Apollo Legend?
Extraordinaire, you say? All right.
Yeah, have you
something
heard of him?
Yes, I've heard of him.
Oh, good.
I don't even remember where I found him. I think one of my videos I found from him.
I actually
was the,
just recently found him. He was in my recommended videos like 4 days
He's
ago.
shown up in a lot of speedrunners recommended videos.
Yeah.
Gee, why is that?
Here's the issue I have with the channel. I don't know Apollo Legend personally,
Probably
and I'm
a
not
great
gonna
guy.
act like I dislike the guy because I don't know him. This is the thing that he does. He will take a bunch of other people's content, make compilation videos out of it, be like, top salt or super salty speedrunners, which is funny, by the way, but it's not his content. And on top of that, that's all. Majority of his videos are that. But the problem I have with it is this.
I'll be right back. I'm
taking-
still listening.
Wow,
You
he
just walked
fucking
away.
gives
I'm
up.
about to grab some real
It's okay.
coffee.
I'm listening. I'm here for you, baby.
Anyways, so here's
Oh
the
god, is he
problem.
peeing with his headphones on?
I hope so.
Oh god.
Dude,
Okay, go ahead with your
anyways,
rant.
Enough of that. So, the issue I have with that is the fact that he does these videos, and the occasional time he talks about something that's his opinion on speedrunning, he feels the obligation to say that he is speaking for the speedrunning community when he himself doesn't do anything as far as I'm concerned. He says he's learning a game, but it's like he wants to learn any Ocarina of Time any person. I'm like, yeah, so does that guy over there. But it's like, just because you make videos, you watch speedrunning, doesn't mean you understand speedrunning, the community, from their perspective, because you're not part of it. You make videos that are other people's content, which another thing is funny is the fact that he made a video saying that speedrunning needs content creators on YouTube, which is absolutely moronic to me, because this is something that speedrunners have been doing for years already. They just don't do it in cancerous YouTube gaming format. They make videos finding glitches, routing a game. This has been done forever.
Yeah, and it goes back to the whole thing where it's like that's what speedrunning is. It's not going to get any bigger. Why are you trying to make it bigger? It's we're not gonna have top 10 world records. That doesn't fucking make sense.
Besides, we all know the best top 1 world record is Cosmo Wright's unbeatable OOT.
Yeah, 1810 by Cosmo. That's world record from everything. I mean, obviously.
But sorry, I was politically incorrect there. But anyway,
no, it was 1810 by Cosmo at the time, though.
Yeah,
we can't just go back in time and change the video. That doesn't make sense.
Back.
Welcome back.
Rats on back.
But anyways, yeah.
Feels good.
My point being is that the fact that he'll do that and then act like he understands the speedrunning community when he only understands it from a spectator view. And then we'll go on to saying, the other thing he does is make statements about GDQ and Maikuyama, which I know everyone has their opinions on GDQ as an organization, their thoughts on, Prevent Cancer Foundation. But you're not part of this. And that's not, again, nothing against him personally, but don't make claims about speedrunning community when you're not part of it. You make videos of other people's things.
And even if he was a speedrunner, even if he actually did learn, Super Mario 16 Star, that's a game. That's one community in all of speedrunning.
It's the most important one, okay?
It's the only one that matters because it's top of SRL, okay?
Have you ever played
but
Super
to be
Mario
fair,
64?
But the other thing is, even then, there have been statements he's made that are incorrect. He made a video about Maikuyama and saying how he wasn't at AGDQ or SGDQ 2016, which is bullshit.
That is bullshit. Because I met him and talked to him.
I fucking played video games with him, okay?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, God.
With Maikuyama in the arcade.
Michael
Not many
Yama,
people can say they did that, by the way.
I played like some shitty fucking PS2 games for like 4 hours with him. All right.
You play Fighting Masters with Mikey Yama. He's actually really fucking good at that shitty Genesis game.
He's
God,
really good
it's
at
so
Twinkle Star Sport
ridiculous.
as well.
But no,
He's a cool guy. He just clearly wasn't prepared to organize something as big as GDQ, and now he's stepped aside, and more capable people have taken over.
I
He's
mean,
also-
part of that is not his fault. He kind
he's
of
also
got,
got
you
an
know,
illness.
sick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
met him at the most recent SGDQ 2016, and I
Didn't we
talked to
both?
him.
Weren't we in the same? Yeah, we were in the
We were on the tram.
rail to the airport.
Yeah, we had
we
a
were
nice.
like, oh shit, that's Michael Yama.
Yeah, we had a nice long talk with him, and it was great. And he's a cool guy, and he's just dealing with stuff, and it's
And
really
again,
hard.
my point on him isn't to, you know, say I dislike the guy. I need to bring the point that, you know, he says all these things when he himself is not, you know, part of the community. And I'm not trying to like start a flame war or anything here. I'm just bringing out my personal thoughts on.
No, fuck Apollo Legend.
Okay, there we go.
Clip that shit right now, motherfucker.
I mean, you know, you got a point. He's got like, we need more content creators in speedrunning, but like, speedrunning is the content. We're creating it.
People,
It's been a
as I
thing.
said, people
Also,
have found
your
glitches,
videos
people
are
have made tutorials for years.
Yeah, and also your videos are compilations of other people doing things. What content are you creating? Exactly. You're
No,
compiling
he's a content
things.
creator. It's okay.
You're not doing it. You're just
It's
taking
his
other
content.
people's lowlights
It-
and making us
I mean,
look
honestly,
retarded.
his whole channel just ties to everything that we've already talked about. Where hey, speedrunning's a hobby. It's not gonna grow as a spectator sport because that's not what it is. You just fucking do it for fun,
Exactly.
and that's fine.
It's great.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Awesome. It's not
Well,
going to be
nobody
a
here-
sport.
Nobody here can DCMA claim the Apollo Legend person because all he takes content from is like SM64 and Ocarina of Time, and that's literally it.
Super
Okay,
salty speedrunner.
Occasionally Super Mario Sunshine.
Dang, dude.
You know,
Actually,
gotta get
he
some
has, like, a series of
diversity in
videos.
there.
I haven't
He has a
seen that
series
one.
of videos specifically for worst RNG compilations, which is like
The classic
whatever. That changes
compilation.
every week because he runs like the shittiest RNG heavy category of games ever, which is Pokemon.
Worcester's been streaming recently. Some Sonic games I've been watching.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does do Sonic games.
Yeah.
I don't follow him.
I don't
follow
follow him. I like know what he does, but I don't follow him personally.
Oh,
That's nothing against him.
You're in the know, are you?
I stay in the know.
You know what's cool in the speedrunning
Connections.
world.
You're
You should
involved.
make you should make some compilation albums about that.
You don't make some.
Get some content created.
I'm
You
gonna
know
make
what
some
I'm saying?
shots fired compilations.
Dude, if we're gonna go with
Cool,
content
baby.
creation, I've got this great idea. We should make speedruns using ASMR, like commentary.
All right, so now I'm just gonna clip right on through here. Just nice and
Hi guys,
This is frame perfect. Oh, I got it first try.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna this time. If I screw it up, it's soft locks. Oh fuck!
Moving right along.
Okay, you know that's fine. We got some bad RNG. That's all right.
We have nothing else on the young schedule. So if anyone
I
has
think-
anything they want to throw out, anything they
Yeah,
want to talk
let's
about,
make this AMA time. Ask me anything, or ask these guys.
if
anything.
you have questions, tweet at.
No. Ask Psycho anything. Only ask Psycho.
Okay, go ahead.
Me
Oh,
and
I
Faye
love
will
this
not take
segment.
questions.
This is a
We're
classic
above
segment. Only ask Psycho. Best segment.
Ask Psycho. Shots fired. Yeah, let's make a shots fired hype compilation.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, so for Shots Fired, we do make a playlist of like the top videos, which is kind of hard because we'd have to just make the entire marathon the top videos. But yeah, that's
Sure.
about.
Sure.
We always talk about nostalgia. Nostalgia is a wasted emotion.
Damn.
talk about nostalgia's.
Psycho, when's Battlefront 3
I mean,
speedruns?
Nostalgia's
now?
like heroin.
What's my
I did-
favorite beer
I
of all
did
time?
talk
That's a
about
great
nostalgia,
question.
like,
I
a
don't
while
think
ago,
I can give
I-
you a direct answer right now because I've had a lot of really good ones.
A while ago, I said that I played SM64 when I was a kid, and it does nothing for me now. I have absolutely no desire to play it ever again.
It's a bad
But
game.
my favorite beer of all time is a tough question to answer because I have had a good multitude of them. I would say maybe one of the best, one of the ones that I would immediately come to mind would be Castile Barista. It's a chocolate quad ale. It's very good. It's 11% alcohol though.
So it's the beer you would drink the rest of
Oh.
your life.
I mean, Maybe not the rest of my life.
Let's
I
do
don't think
that.
there's a beer I
Hold-
could
hold
because I
on.
get tired of everything.
Tolu, is this random like Montreal Metroidvania schedule? Because I want to complain about that because it's like,
What is this?
so you're already doing a marathon in Montreal, which is like pretty small pool of runners
Somewhere
to
in
pick from.
Canada.
and then they also
Somewhere
want
in
to
Canada.
only do Metroidvanias, which is like, that's a really
They
fucking
got a
small
lot of games
pool from
here.
a
I
really,
do.
and they have
do.
like 2 full days. What?
I
How?
do want to say something because Rexy asks an actually really interesting question for all of us.
That's new.
Uh-huh.
How did y'all meet?
Oh,
I said
Wow.
y'all. That's literally how it's typed out.
So I think me and
how'd y'all
Saint-
meet?
How'd y'all meet, y'all? I think me and Saint, I think the first thing we did was go to fucking Herberts and Gerberts together,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
definitely where we first were. Two people in the same real life spectrum.
Yeah. I was,
And we were eating at the same table, I think, and we were just chilling.
yeah, because it was just like, it was me, you, and it was Chris LBC, and somebody else was with us. I think it was Caveman. It might have been Caveman.
Maybe.
And
Actually,
then
I have a little sub story to go with this. This was SGDQ 2015 in Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, or whatever.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
St. Paul, Minnesota, dude. And I had randomly, out of nowhere, like I was on speedrun hiatus for a long time, and I just thought for whatever reason, I don't know, I was probably like bored or depressed or something. I was like, I'm just gonna go SGDQ 2015 and just meet people, hang out with people, whatever. And I met Chris LBC at the airport, met Caveman at the airport, met Bubbles at the hotel, and then met BT and like all these other people, and started hanging out. Went to Herberts and Gerberts, met people like Chops, and Rexy was there. Rexy died from hot sauce, and that's the last time I saw him. This is first and last time I saw him. He was just dying and puking. And sorry, Rexy, I didn't mean to point that out.
Oh, that was adorable.
But no, he ate way too much of that flashbang hot sauce.
Being fair, flashbang was when I took it at SGDQ.
You took a drop, right?
No, he didn't know that it was like super ridiculous hot sauce. People were just like, "Hey, eat this," and then he ended up like covering a fucking like chip with it and just went for it. And
I saw that. I saw him when they did it, and I had the day before I had taken a drop of the same hot sauce. And I was watching them because I was in the stream room. They were like in the background of the stream cam or whatever. And they like, had their Pringle or whatever the fuck, and they like doused the Pringle in the hot sauce. And it was Rexy and Frippic. They like did it together, and I was like, "Oh no, I hope that's not flashbang. They're gonna get fucked."
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I left the stream room like 10 minutes later, and they were like by like the side trash cans in the eating room, like on the ground, like.
He was just fucking dying. Yeah, because like
I felt
there was a
so
few of
bad
them.
for him because
There was a few of them that like were decided they were going to do that after Heinke's run just because for whatever reason, and they all knew what they were doing, so they only put a drop in. But fucking Frippic convinced Rexy to just fucking go for it. Eat this shit, motherfucker.
Dude. It would have been Frippic. We're talking about the flashbang incident.
Oh,
yes, man. Zephyrs. Flashbang is no joke, dude. It's like the top 5 hottest peppers in the world in this like concoction of a hot sauce.
Can I just say that it doesn't fall in, and afterwards you just feel pain?
Yeah, it's just.
My stomach was churning. I had to.
Yeah, my stomach was like daggers.
I'd do it again, but I know what I'm getting into.
I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. That sounds absolutely unenjoyable.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. What were we talking about?
Yeah, they were asking questions.
That was the first. Yeah, that was the first GDQ I went to out of nowhere since AGDQ 2014, and I met pretty much all of my best friends now.
And then I didn't go to a GDQ until 2016 when I went to AGDQ 2016.
And then we met!
Yeah, the story about that is great, because what happened was this. I showed up, and I barely knew anyone. Like, I had people I was in communication with, and mostly that was RE4 runners. And then one day I was there, and I ran into St. Million. He said something like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I said that Dark Forces didn't get in," or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, you play Melee? I'm like, yeah, something along the lines of that. We both played Melee. We figured that out. We played Melee in the Melee room. We just kind of hung out.
You know,
It's
in the Melee
lame.
room where you play Melee.
Yeah, dude.
I
We
stayed the
actually brought a
fuck
copy
out of that room.
Yeah.
Dude, it smells bad.
So we did
Yeah.
that, and then like one day during the middle of the event, I went to the PC room and Saint was there. And he's like, "Yeah, we're going to like the grocery store. Do you want to come with?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Good bonding experience." And so we did, and we all just kind of hung out. I met everyone there, and kind of just became friends with everyone.
Hell yeah.
And SGDQ happened. We reunited, and it was even more glorious.
Dude.
So that's how we kind of all met each other.
Yeah, GDQs are great when you like know people and
Honestly, like
hang out with
even if you
speedrunners.
don't know people right away, you can make friends with a lot of people.
That's what I did. That's how
That's
I
what I
made
did.
friends with all my friends at SGDQ 2015 and the next
Yeah,
marathon. Then I met Psycho Ripper.
The Psycho Ripper, don't forget.
The Psycho Ripper.
Be the Psycho Ripper.
Not on
And
Twitter though.
fucking
On
okay.
Twitter,
Shoutouts.
he's Psycho Ripper _.
Wow, that's a lie. He's lying about his identity.
Do I look like Rexy to you?
That's not a lie.
It is a
Well,
lie.
You're Psycho
not
Ripper
fu-
_.
No, I'm not. Okay, no, okay, I am on Twitter.
On Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said.
Yeah, on Twitter, you're a goddamn
But I
lie.
don't give a fuck if people follow me on Twitter. Y'all gotta hit that follow button on Twitch.
The Psycho Ripper.
What were you
Yeah,
saying?
fuck
Joel?
Twitter, to be
Sorry.
honest. Yeah, I just shoutouts to like SGDQ 2015 to being the goddamn comfiest thing I've ever been to.
It was so good.
Like, It was so good.
oh,
it
that was
was
such
like-
a good marathon.
All the rooms were just like right beside each other. There was like you
Yeah.
could always hang out with people.
The
The
room
hotel
layout.
was fucking terrible. Like the actual hotel, it was
Yeah. I
terrible.
mean,
But the event space was so
it's
good.
kind of funny because at SGDQ this year, the hotel was really nice, but the area around the hotel was fucking terrible. Kind of amusing how that
SGDQ.
worked out.
What was that hotel again?
I don't
can't
remember.
even
It was big. There was 20 floors.
It was forgettable.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the like area around that hotel.
There was
Oh
another
yeah, I
question.
remember it now. Yeah, there was not that much. There was like Hell's Kitchen and that one Target, and that was it.
Yeah, that one Target where there was like homeless people
there was some
outside
stuff.
before they opened.
And that liquor store, and that was it. I went
Oh,
to the
where
liquor
is
store.
this? That Momo just linked.
YouTube.
Oh man, remember Oginom? That guy was cool. And then he just like stopped speedrunning and just didn't
Oh,
hang
dude.
out with anybody anymore.
Can I share screen? Hold on. This is a video I took. Hold up.
Ooh.
Share screen. It'll be in my. It's in my camera.
Say hi, Oginam.
Oh, it's so loud.
I'm getting like three FPS.
This is
So it's under.
Yo BT.
Chris LBC. I'll just pause it on his face.
Shoutouts to BT.
That's pretty hot.
Also, to answer another question that was in the chat that was directed at me, how are you going to replace the critical part of Minecart Stories play? Nope, that's RE4. I don't give a shit about it. Yeah, RE4 sucks. Anyways, that's what I've learned playing it. It's not a great speed game, and it takes load time into account. So,
Yeah, that whole the rules about that thing are a
Another
mess.
topic for another time.
Did anybody else ask any questions?
I think so. There was one other that was interesting. Somebody asked, "What's the next speed plans?" They directed it at me, but then changed it to everyone else.
What's the next
Again,
speed
this is
plans,
the,
you
this
guys?
is the This is the Ask Psycho Ripper section.
Oh, shit.
Okay, everybody is only allowed to ask hyper.
I love this section.
Any questions directed to us have to go to me.
Yes.
Then we discuss
If you say
it.
my name, we're just gonna put Psycho Ripper's name in place.
Yeah, exactly. But to answer that question, I know we mentioned it briefly at the beginning what our speed plans are, but like I've said, my current plan right now is to kind of just relax for a bit because I've got finals coming up for school and I've just had to practice like 5 different games. But the main goal is to get RE2 back, or RE2 Leon A time down, and maybe Unreal Return to Mapali because PB should be pretty free on that. What about you, Chops?
Fuck, I don't even know what I want to do right now because like Dishonored 2 kind of sucks and I don't really want to play it anymore. And I don't really have anything else lined up. I have like real life stuff going on right now, so that's gonna
Lame.
be most of my time. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna like find something new to learn. I don't think I'm ever going to really grind out anything ever
Nah,
anymore.
dude, you gotta grind out Cornerstone.
I will practice Cornerstone. Fortunately, multi-winner learned that, and he's found some improvements. So I'm just gonna steal his strats. So that's good. I think I made a list of things to learn, and then I learned like one of them and just ignored the rest. Where is it? Future plans. Yeah, I've got like a shitload of things that I can learn.
You got the list
I don't
of
know.
stuff you want to do, but we'll probably never do.
There's other stuff I want to work on personally, but I want to wait till next year to start it.
Yeah, I originally like made this big ass list of stuff. Like I made a big ass list of stuff like when I started streaming, and I like ended up finding out that most of those runs were garbage. But this is like an actual list of things that actually seem interesting
Somebody
for
just
once.
said they'd buy my ticket to ESA. I'm kind of tempted now.
Whoa,
Yo,
what?
fucking do it.
Who?
Garlier, shouts to that guy. He's a
Fucking bullshit.
Everybody,
Congrats.
all right, so I'm
By the way,
cool guy.
so ESA
damn
like 2015 was kind of complete shit because the stream was just awful. But
how
it was
was-
really fucking cool actually hanging out with everything. And I'm actually
That's-
kind of mad because SGDQ is way better than AGDQ, but nobody's ever gonna go to it like from Europe because ESA is right beside it. So I'm really goddamn disappointed.
yeah,
I-
the SGDQ is
everybody
super
would
comfy.
actually-
Remember
AGDQ menu is garbage.
Yeah, remember SGDQ 2015 with Herberts and Gerberts and like Momo was there and Heinke
Yeah,
was
fucking
there.
Momo was there.
Like there were quite a bit of European runners there, and it was like super comfy. It was great. But SGDQ.
We'll convince ESA to hire you, Jovo. Don't worry.
All right, cool.
Another question.
What about you, Saint? You're. I shouldn't even ask you because you're just gonna never speedrun anything ever again.
That's not true.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like to currently speedrun?
I'm going to get world
Like
record.
other than Blood Money?
I'm going to get world record in origami.
Are you
Confirmed.
though? Mummer's
Yes.
time is actually pretty decent.
No, it's trash.
It's probably trash. He did like 3 runs.
No, I'm going to get record in origami because it looks super fun. It's a ninja game. I'm a super edgelord.
It's
I
it's
love
fucking
ninja
weebed
games.
on it. We know.
Yeah, it's great. It's the best thing. It has some cool out of bounds. It's great. I'm learning it right now on the side with practicing Hitman Blood Money routes that I want to do for HDQ. And I've actually been like super in love with Blood Money all over again. It's been really weird. Like I've been telling
That's
you,
great.
Chops.
You're gonna like have a really bad day with it, and you're like, I don't want to play this game ever again.
I had that last night actually, and
I'm
That happened to
really
me.
excited to
That-
hear Blood Money run because it's like it's gonna be awful, but it's gonna be so entertaining.
It's
Just because
gonna-
that game is so stupid.
it's gonna fall apart, but you know it'll be great.
Let's just take Lifelike's advice. Let's all just learn Siberia.
Siberia is so hype,
Siberia.
except for the 30 minutes of like
Yeah,
action
The
sequences,
first 30 minutes is so boring,
Speaking
but
of
it's
hype,
so
though, I
good.
think
shooting
the most
cinematics.
Most entertaining, like the most hype, not hype game was actually in the first Shots Fired when they did Trespasser Jurassic Park. That was so
Oh god,
great.
Trespasser is so good.
Did you
Oh,
clean
man.
your room? I did not clean my room.
Yeah, it
Hold
looks-
on,
it looks pretty
hold on.
fucking
What are you doing? You ask questions to me. Don't
Oh.
ask Satan.
Psycho
Yeah,
Ripper, did you clean your
excuse me?
room?
Psycho Ripper, you're supposed
Like,
to take care of this.
Chameleon clean his room. There we go. That's the proper way to do it.
Psycho Ripper, did you clean your
Remember,
room?
I'm the gatekeeper of questions here.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Psycho Ripper, keeper of the questions.
Can I like actually have that as a role in a
Do you want
D&D
me to-
campaign?
Do you want me to put that on your layout?
Alright,
On
I think
Psycho
this,
Ripper
we should
super
start
questions.
a D&D game just like as part of this podcast. I think that'd be great.
It's just playing it while we're podcasting.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm down.
What's the best
You know,
liquor?
if we
Oh,
can like
God.
get some next level shit where we're incorporating this podcast discussion while we're playing D&D.
All
Like
right.
it's a part of the story element.
Can contradiction be a shooter? Ooh. Fuck. There's probably some shooting somewhere in that game, right? Right? I mean, it's 2 hours. I didn't watch it. I'll just
to be
assume it's
fair-
shooting.
To be fair, in contradiction, if it's the game I'm thinking about, you're shooting the truth.
Ooh. Oh, that's
Shooting
good.
some real
That's good.
words.
I'm out
But
of the
when
loop.
is
I don't know
how
what
often
this
is
is.
this podcast happening?
You've never seen Contradiction?
Dude,
No.
contradictions are really cool.
Contradiction is fucking fantastic.
I'll put that on my
Like,
list.
it's really a
Just-
shame that it was short. I wish it was longer.
Just go watch. It's like 2 hours. You'll
Alright,
survive.
That's
Don't
what I'm
worry.
doing after this podcast. I'm doing
But
that.
anyways, how often is this podcast happening? I hope frequently because I
Every-
think it's fun. You guys are cool.
It's super fun. Every couple weeks, or we can do it weekly. You know.
We'll see what happens.
I
the
fucking
thing
hate
is-
this shit. This is awful. Never invite me again.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
As long as I have,
I
you
can
know,
get down with that.
some alcohol, maybe some Vicodin afterwards, I'll be okay.
This podcast feeds my alcoholism. You know. Right.
It justifies it.
But you know. I mean, I already have an alcohol problem. I mean, there's Coke and PBR over here.
Dude, you're drinking Coke Vanilla? Wow, what an alcoholic.
I fucking
Coke
read
is-
ever seen this mask while I was swallowing and I almost fucking fuck.
That's hot. Could do it bi-weekly or weekly. Depends on if there's like stuff to talk about, you know?
Yeah, because, you know, obviously with like a month of November, there was a lot to talk
We
about.
had a couple marathons, some dank
And
articles.
occasionally, you know, there are times where you can talk about older topics and things that have been, you know, worth mentioning in the past.
Sure.
Like classic segmented runs or something like that.
Yeah.
Zephyr has asked a question to apparently
Asked you
Cypher
a
Ripper, because this is Ask Cypher Ripper. The
Where's it
segment.
at?
What's the best liquor?
The best liquor, that's not my question. Sam will let you answer this one.
Saint just drinks fucking PBR. Why are
Yeah,
you?
so
Why are you
this
asking
is-
The best
him?
liquor, I don't know. I'm not experienced with liquor. Like, I
Alright.
mean, I'm experienced. I've drank a lot, but I'm not an expert in that.
Skip says my man called it Coke Vanilla, and I lost it.
I mean, I
Dude,
think I've mostly just
I'm going
drank
to
like
this-
a little bit of whiskey.
I'm going to the
But-
store. You want anything? Dude, get me Coke Vanilla.
Give me some Coke. Vanilla.
Coke Vanilla, motherfucker.
No, you only say
Um,
that after they start pouring the Coke.
I will
It's
say
all about cherry Coke.
the best liquor is tequila. It's my favorite. It's probably not popular choice. I'd say maybe rum is the more.
I do
popular
have a
choice.
little bit of tequila left.
I'm personally, from the liquors I've had, I
My
really like
favorite.
bourbon. Bourbon's really good to just enjoy.
Oh yeah, bourbon's pretty good. Pretty good. Get
Like,
down
I had
with
this, I wish I knew what it was, but I was at that age.
All
of
right, hold on,
the
hold
rest
on,
of
hold
it-
on. Scoot, PBR is fucking terrible. Like, don't even lie. It is so bad. I had
It's
it once.
good.
I'm
I will,
never
I
drinking it
will
again.
say this: it's not the worst American like generic beer that domestic shit you can get.
It's really.
I'm
not.
Canadian. My standards for like the generic stuff is a little
no,
bit
yeah, that's
higher.
understandable. It's still pretty bad. Don't misconstrue that, but there are worse.
It's pretty fucking terrible.
But yeah, bourbon's good. I had this one at AGDQ that was really good. I wish I knew what it was, but it was like a cherry bourbon, and it was incredibly smooth. Like that shit was. You put it down, and you just weren't worried about anything.
I do have like a big ass bottle of Kraken rum that I haven't even
Oh,
touched
Kraken's my favorite.
because I don't have
It's so
anything to
good.
drink it with. I mean, like you're growing up, you like fucking Captain Morgan spice rum and stuff,
Yeah,
and then
that's
you have a
so
really
good.
bad experience with it, and then you never touch it again.
It's
So
funny
you go
say
find
that.
something better.
It's funny you say that. That's exactly what happened to me. And the smell
I think
of
that's what
Captain Morgan
happens to a
spice
lot of
rum,
people.
just the smell will make me vomit. I cannot drink it
I had
ever.
Okay, I've had
there was
that
one night I had a lot of Captain Morgan, and
That seems to be
it's
like the
happening.
thing. Everyone has a bad experience with Captain Morgan. I can't drink it anymore because the first time I ever got like super trashed, I drank nothing but Captain Morgan. I drank like 7 shots of it in under an hour. And I got back
Yeah.
to my parents' house, fell over in the lawn, and just vomited in my yard. It was really bad.
Dude, I did that with PBR the first time I drank. Great.
I do have. Oh, hold on.
I guess we can take a few more questions. You know, you got them. Just make sure to direct them to me.
When my parents went to
This is
to
the
Mexico a couple years ago, they gave me this tequila. Can't really read anything, but it's like
That's
this
a teeny-ass bottle.
Coraleo.
Yeah. Tequila Coraleo, and then I've had like 2 shots from it, and I haven't touched it since. So I need an excuse to drink it. So maybe next time, huh?
The thing about tequila that I love is like you gotta take it a certain way. Like you have the shot, and then you can do the salt on like your hand, and then you have
The salt and the lime.
the lime.
I don't do it. I don't really do that ever. I
That's
just
what
fucking
makes
take
it
the
taste
shot.
so good.
I don't
you know?
personally like tequila. I really don't. It's not for me.
I do it with an orange
I've had,
slice
like-
instead. Tastes so
I have
good.
like
An
a
orange-
shot
oh,
or
you
two of
fucking
tequila every
liberal.
now and then. That's it.
Liberal media wants to use orange slices
mean,
with your
there's-
tequila shots.
There's a lot left. I can just fucking drink this right now,
Just-
Kung.
Just bring it to
Please-
Just
HGQ.
fucking chug it.
No, give
I
it to
don't
me.
know if I can.
Give it to me now.
Do it now. You won't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Car bombs are AGDQ. What?
Car bombs are HDQ. Vegas
Are you
bombs?
making Are you talking about bombs at AGDQ? Dude, you're banned.
Have you ever? Oh my god. You ever done an Irish car bomb?
I've done an Irish car bomb. I did it like 2 years ago for
So
St. Patrick's Day.
tasty.
Gin and tonic is actually pretty good.
Gin and tonic
Yes.
is good. Yep. I like how we're just talking about drinks now.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
somebody brought
fuck
it up.
speedrunning.
Fuck yeah, we talked enough about speedrunning.
I've decided I'm not.
Talk
Yeah,
like
so-
2 hours about it.
You can ask
Zephyrs-
anything.
Zephyrs, you are drinking at HDQ, or I'm gonna punch you in the balls.
Wow.
Like, you're rooming with me. I'm just gonna punch you right in the balls while you're sleeping.
You know, I'd say that's excessive, but no, I'll allow this.
Well, you're there
Only
the
if you
whole
hit-
week, you know.
Only if you hit them. Only if you hit both of them in one swipe, like one swift.
One
hit.
swipe.
You gotta get both of them. Or you can do that. I mean, maybe you know you're just fucking around a little bit, and you just get underneath and you just go. Whatcha?
Alcohol talk shows. Let's do it. This is still gaming. Don't worry.
It's
Twitch
true.
won't kick us off. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we haven't said
Speedrunning.
anything controversial yet.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do origami. That's one thing.
Oh yeah, that was the question
Oh,
that sparked all this.
I'm gonna learn another game. Either gonna be Mega Man 2 is one game I was thinking about.
Wow, he's gonna sell out.
A console game. It's my favorite Mega Man.
This
Mega Man.
disgusting.
My
It's
favorite
everyone's-
Mega Man.
Remember what I said about nostalgia? It's fucking disgusting. I have
Listen,
no respect for you.
The music's really good.
Sure. So, what's your point? You can just listen to the soundtrack. And you don't have to fucking torture yourself with that god awful ancient game.
You're not wrong. Also, I got improved Max Payne 2 because that game has new tech, and I gotta. No one else is running it. I
You
gotta-
never PB'd after the new tech because you're just
No,
like, what
I
the
didn't.
fuck? How did I ever get this time?
Yeah, I started practicing it, and I was like, "How the fuck was I ever this fast at this game? Like, this is hard." So I gotta like do the grind again. Probably after AGDQ, I'm gonna do it.
Eggnog and brandy sounds really good. I actually have some eggnog and bourbon in my kitchen. I should go pour some.
Yeah,
Sounds
that-
good.
I need to get some eggnog and rum. Well, I have the rum. I need to get some eggnog. Go crazy. So much new tech. Whole 5 seconds worth. Also, Mumrick, how did your shitty meme blind race go? Who actually won that race?
Cotty, it's like it's more than 5 seconds, you know. And there's some optimizations, like you know, there are a couple things. Also, my run was like not that great, you know, it wasn't perfect. And also that one level with the mansion, where you either go inside the mansion and it blows up and you jump around, or you can jump outside the mansion. That saves time. There's like a lot of little things there that's going on with Max Payne 2.
It's the little things, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of little optimizations, and I want to
That's
get
one of the reasons. Like
one good
one of the
run.
games I've been running, like I was running for a while, was Resident Evil 1, and it's like I got to a point where my run, whether I PB'd, there was a faster route, but like it's only 10 seconds, but I have to master that. And it's gotten down to the point where I have to have like perfect movement and not make any minor mistakes, or I
Right, can
can't PB.
Can I just rant for a second? So
Yeah.
there's this fucking Dishonored drunk stream that happened during Shots Fired, right before I had to fucking restream, and I didn't get to watch any of it. And I am fucking pissed because holy shit, Drunk Mumrick is the best stream I've ever seen in my entire life, and I didn't get to see another drunk Mumrick, and I'm so disappointed.
Is there no past broadcast?
No, it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
It's not the same
Just-
as being in.
Not the same as being there.
Like you can
it's
tell
no
a
good.
story, but it won't be the same as experiencing,
And I mean, it'll be funny, but it won't be like life changing like the other one was.
Mhm.
All right, Momerk, you gotta drink more. And
What I'm saying is, you need to buy a lot more whiskey, Mumrick.
and wait for Chops to be available.
I need to schedule this. To see next weekend.
Yeah, someone should
next
compile
weekend
that
is,
stream. Someone should
pre-NASA.
make a compilation for that stream. Top 10 best drunk designer moments.
Yeah. Next weekend is pre-NASA, and I have 2 runs for that. But other than that, I'm open, baby.
I just found out that pre-NASA was happening like last week, and the submissions had just closed. And I was really upset.
I didn't even know what was happening.
I didn't
until
know
you
it was
just mentioned
happening,
it.
or else I was submitted.
Can you imagine
I'm
that being
sad.
so out of the loop?
Oh
Damn.
god, this is really loud.
Lol, not for me.
Yeah.
No, I was worried because they tagged Saint, but that's not a question. That's a statement.
Our
Okay,
room
so
at
you're good.
HDQ is gonna be a problem. Got a problem, bitch? Throw your hands up.
Yeah, see, here's the strat.
Shut
I
the
have
fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Memes. Inside memes.
got a
Dude,
problem.
that is going to be a problem. Like, no
This shit
memes
is
are
one-on-one.
shit.
So, anyway, yeah, at HQ I have the anti-party room, so I have a safe haven to go and hide in.
I'm
when you
kind of
guys
jealous
way
of
too
you.
Fucking... There, that is the strat. You got to go for that.
So you're gonna come to our room.
Yes,
For the
and I'm
party.
going to.
Is
I'm
that
gonna
like the
fuck it
designated
up.
go-to room for the alcohol this time? The St. Millions room.
This probably will be, yes.
You're not wrong. I'm bringing a
How-
lot, actually.
How are we gonna hide from Bubbles?
Well, I can't hide from
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
How are we
Oh.
gonna
I'm
hide?
rooming with Bubbles.
You fell for the fucking paying for the room meme.
Okay,
you
but you
poor
know what?
thing.
That's
I
why
feel
don't
so
have
bad
to
for you.
spend. You want to know
Bubbles.
what?
How are we gonna
If I
hide from
could-
you?
If I couldn't do that, I probably wouldn't go to AGDQ.
Bubbles is watching. I know he is. I
But to
didn't
be
even
fair,
check it.
to be fair,
He's
my
probably
room's great,
watching.
because Bubbles is all right, and I also get to room with Cube Face. That guy's cool.
Cube passe.
Cube
Also, a
face got
reminder that Cube Face hit me in the
fucked
face
up.
last time at SDDQ.
Cube face.
Cube
was...
probably got like more fucked up that one night than anybody else, and
Cube
we were
face-
not expecting
He was the life of the party that night.
He went to give me a high five and he smacked me in the face. It's just the funniest thing.
That sounds about right for that night.
it. Yeah, we need Shutx to not show us his pews. Thanks.
You want to see my ass hair?
Wake me up inside.
I was the only one
I
smart
still
enough to
have that
look
video
away
on my
because I
phone,
knew
by
it
the
was
way.
gonna happen,
I did
and
too.
everybody else is just like, "This guy, huh?" And it's like, "Nah." Oh shit, Cube's here.
Cube face. I do not remember that. Cube face. You probably don't remember a lot of things that night. It's
Oh.
fine.
You believe me? Good.
Cube face
it
was
a
like,
friendly gesture. Shoutouts to Cube Face. Everyone go follow him. He's cool.
yeah. You know that like party you go to, and there's always that one guy who's like trying to make sure everyone drinks a lot. Cube became that person that night.
Just so
Out of
this is
nowhere.
terrifying.
No one
like
saw
he's always the
It was
quietest,
crazy.
just like, nice little guy. In the
Yeah, I
corner, then
remember.
all of a
That. I
sudden,
remember
let's
bunny
fucking die.
hopping. That was funny.
I remember bunny hopping and laughing
That
a
was
lot with
actually
Quake.
fucking hilarious.
You did bunny
when
hop
he did
across
that.
the room making Quake man noises. That was fantastic, I have to say. I don't think
Oh, man,
I
we're-
that was probably the hardest I laughed that whole week.
Holy shit, dude.
But yeah, this is what happens at GDQs when you hang out.
Yeah, this is
And,
also what happens in podcasts when we reminisce.
I never even like hung out with you guys very much last GDQ because I had like a million runs and a million couches,
True.
so I didn't even
You hung out with
get
us a bit.
wasted.
That's the nice thing about
Yeah.
AGDQ for me is I'm couching for a couple games, but other than that, I'm not doing anything.
I'm excited for AGQ because I have one run and like maybe 2 or 3 couches, and that's it. I can do
I'm
whatever
actually
the
couching
fuck I
for
want.
Shadows of the Empire, which I'm very excited actually got in.
Yeah, glass knock.
Glass is a cozy dude, and on top of that,
Nope.
it's just nice to see a game that I've run since like 2013 finally get in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one's good
It's like
since
seeing
it's-
something come full
It's
circle.
it's so good except for the fucking 8 minutes of auto scroller, but it's so good
It used
otherwise.
to be 10. It used to be 10. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
PC's the master
So
race,
anyway,
so it's faster.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody drink for PC. I don't have any beer left. I'd have to open up another one, but I do have this tequila.
Drink it
Excellent.
straight out of the bottle.
I will.
Don't actually do that.
You won't, pussy.
I don't think I have a shot glass at all. Actually,
Just drink it. Just take a sip, a sippity sip. By sip, I
Hold
mean
on.
chug it.
hold on.
But anyways, any
Hold on.
other questions? I think
Yeah.
we're kind of coming to a conclusion here soon.
As
We've been
Cyber
doing this for like
Demon,
2 hours.
as Cyber Demons would say, if you have any burning
glass?
questions,
Wine glass?
I know what a wine glass looks like. Yes.
No, I mean
It's a
like
glass.
drink the tequila with the wine glass.
Oh
Jesus,
yeah,
no.
that's proper. That's really fancy.
Gotta have the pinky out too. It's just like casually sipping tequila.
Sipping tequila. I've never heard a worse phrase in my life.
I'm gonna drink a shot of tequila from this normal glass. I hope you're all happy with yourselves.
I'm not. I told you not
I'm
to do it.
I'm slightly pleased.
I mean, it's one shot. Whatever.
What runs you recommend people watch that they missed? What are you referring to?
Toast it to the first show of Speedrunners Anonymous, the speedrunning help show.
Yeah.
I would like to thank the first fucking show of Speedrunners Anonymous for helping me drink.
But
Cheers-
anyways, to
cheers
answer
to
kind of
that.
the last question, Denise Kieran said, if there's a run that you need to see on Shots Fired, I would say
Lifeline.
Lifeline. Yeah.
Yes, watch
Definitive
Lifeline. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I woke up and that run was happening. I watched the whole thing. It was the
Yeah.
best thing.
Yeah.
My restream shift ended right before, so I could actually just watch it and not worry.
Not worry, yeah.
It was so good.
Fantastic.
Also watch what else would be a good one to recommend?
This is really good tequila.
Oh.
Now I want all of it.
He's a convert.
Yeah, watch all the games you've never heard of at Shots Fired because they're all great
Ah,
ones.
Yeah, basically
Fury,
anything
watch
that you've
Lifeline.
never seen before, just watch it because that was the best part
And
of Shots
of course,
Fired.
not plug myself, watch MDK.
Yeah, Lifeline was our viewer peak, and it was fucking 7 in the morning, and it got like 500 viewers.
That's so hilarious.
I don't want
It
to
was
plug
pretty hot.
myself for anything, but you should watch Blood Money.
I mean,
It
you
is
should.
pretty good.
It's good for different reasons.
I want to plug myself because I'm a whore, so you should all watch all of my runs.
Hey,
Not even
respect.
gonna say what the game is. What a guy. So yeah,
So I guess we're wrapping up at this point.
I suppose
We're
so.
just-
We've
Yeah, it's
been
about
rambling
2
for
hours.
like
We've been rambling, but you know, it's fun.
That's fun. That's fun. I like that interactive aspect.
I'm actually
Of
just
like doing a live podcast with that. It makes it fun.
I'm just super chilling right now. I got
Yeah,
my
exactly.
Atlanta Falcons fleece.
Dude, the Falcons suck. Real talk.
Okay, can we just not
They're-
sports right now?
they're
Can
like-
we just not? No. Can we just fucking not? All
I
right.
have to retort.
This is a fucking video game and alcohol podcast.
Dude,
Thank you
fuck
very
the
much.
Falcons, Patriots all the way. There, let's
Hey,
start the
hey,
Oh,
hey,
no.
hey, hey,
No,
hey,
no, no,
psycho,
no.
hey,
Cheaters.
shut the
You want
fuck
to
up.
talk about cheating?
I will drink this entire fucking tequila if we keep going.
Yo, I know my boy Scoots in the chat, but fuck the Patriots. Fuck the Patriots.
I will pour another fucking shot if you guys don't stop.
If that's the case,
All
let's
right,
talk
all
about
right.
the NBA.
Well, let's talk sports.
God fucking damn it.
But anyways, yeah, that's enough of that. Anyways, thanks to everyone who came by and watched. We will be doing this again at some point. I'm sure Saint will announce it on Twitter whenever we do.
Probably next week.
Yeah, down for next week. I
Are
don't think
there
I have
like
anything-
enough things to talk about? You think
I mean, if
There's, like-
not, we can always dig up.
we could probably find things?
There's always things to talk about, even if it's like past archived stuff. So
And we're just chilling anyways.
exactly, that's what it
This
is.
is you think this is Maple Leafs, but it's not. This is the Markham Minor Hockey Association.
That's basically Maple Leaf Canadian something.
Anyways, yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
I guess for outros, I'm the
International
Psycho
curling
Ripper.
competition.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Where can we follow you guys? Go ahead.
Okay, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/the_Psycho_Ripper. The "the" is very important. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Psycho_Ripper_.
Come on, Saint, be a good host and put those links in chat. Come on, Saint. Saint, you motherfucker! I swear to
I'm
God.
too pretty to do work. You know?
God, you sound.
Damn it, he's right.
Fuck. All right. Fuck you. www.
You can find me everywhere as Dr. T Chops because I'm not a fucking fucking bitch and that changes his
Okay,
name
to be
everywhere.
fair, the only reason mine's the way it is because my name gets taken fucking everywhere for no reason.
Yeah, just be more creative, motherfucker. The
I
T,
can't
man.
be.
The
That
T
name wasn't even
saves
what I came
everything.
up with. It was randomly generated. We're like, I got stuck with it.
All right, I had to click
So-
this link I just typed to make sure I typed it correctly.
Is that how you spell psycho? There's
It's
an H
not
somewhere.
Psycho Ripper underscore Scoot.
God damn it, Scoot.
Wait,
That's
no,
his-
it's right. He's right. That's Twitter.
That's the Twitter. That's the Twitter.
Correct.
I
Don't-
know because
don't-
I was tweeting earlier
Don't undersell Scoot.
the announcement for
I
the show.
take back that. God damn it. I'm sorry, Scoot. Don't hate me.
He was on the right track. He was listening. He didn't hear the Twitter aspect of it.
But yeah, that's how you can follow me. Chops. Just
Follow Chops.
said his-
DRT Chops. Dirty Chops.
I thought it was Dr. T.C. Hops, actually. I've clearly messed up.
Because
Dr.
he
TC
likes hops in his craft beers.
Neither of these are hoppy.
Yeah,
Rip.
I was gonna say if yours pretty dark, I wouldn't expect it to be hoppy.
This one was like a light ale. This one was a Scotch ale. So
Well, Shed beer is very hoppy. Dude, get on that. We're gonna have that at AGQ. Follow
And
me.
if you are not following Saint Million, you are watching his stream right now. Please hit that follow button.
Click the follow button.
just caress the follow button.
Not
to
Make
kill
the
it.
follow button care.
Could you believe there was no one else named Saint Million on Twitch?
And you guys are taking too long, so I'm gonna start doing stupid things with my webcam.
All right,
Should we
so
host somebody now?
yeah, let's find somebody to go ahead and give the old hosty host.
Anime eyes.
Please stop. All right,
No, get that
we
shit
gotta
out of
wrap
here.
this up quick. Stop it.
This is the whole reason why we have the Prevent Cancer Foundation. It's because of people like you.
Potions.
Potion setup.
I need only your strongest potions.
All right.
Who's streaming?
You are too weak for my strongest potions.
Oh, I want to host this guy's, but he's not speedrunning.
Motherfucker.
We're not speedrunning.
You're not wrong. All right. We're gonna go ahead and raid the king himself.
The king?
The king.
Oh man, we're
The
gonna do it.
king. The underscore the king.
The king dime.
Ooh.
Where are people?
He was here. He said one thing and
He
then he
said a
left.
thing. You know, I respect that.
God,
So,
remember when Dime was a speedrunner? What a good time.
now he
miss
just plays
that
Dead
time.
by Daylight all the
Now he
fucking
just fucking-
time.
Ah,
He just murders people all the time.
So anyways, yeah, let's give him a nice little raid. What are we gonna raid him with?
Fuck. I'm not good at this.
Oh.
Chops, you think of something.
apparently this emote picture. The fucking anime eyes.
Yeah, but he might get suspicious if a bunch of links just show up in his chat.
Well, you know what? That's how we roll.
Okay, let's do it. Just copy that image and post it in his chat.
All right, go ahead and check him out. Thank you for joining everyone for the first episode. This will be on YouTube soon. We'll see you probably next week. Same time, same place. Bye.